Hello viewers, I'm RX Oliver. These are my friends. Tonight we're playing Cthulhu Dark. I've got with me tonight the wonderful Brutally Honest below me, Chris Kidd, you know, from the channel many times now, and you've seen me play with him on the other channels that I'm on. This is Colin from the Horrific podcast joining us tonight, and I have again on the channel the one and only Rina Henze. I will hand over to Rina in just 1 second. I just wanted to say thanks to everybody for playing once again. You can follow Brutally Honest on Twitch, where you'll catch her doing co-working streams Monday, Wednesday and Friday. You'll find Chris at I'm Chris Kidd on all socials. He's a variety streamer on Twitch and a fitness instructor, and you can get fit for free if you follow him. Colin, you will find at the Horrific podcast on YouTube, Twitch and everywhere else. Now, that's my introduction done. Everyone already knows me, RX Oliver, so I'll hand it over to the one and only Rina Henze. Thanks for doing this, Rina.
Happy to do it. Thanks for having me on your channel again. So, tonight we are playing Cthulhu Dark. We are playing a scenario I wrote specifically for this stream, or for this podcast, called Holi-slay Season. So this is going to be great fun, I think. So for those of you who haven't played Cthulhu Dark before, I'd like to do a brief introduction of the rules. Very brief, because Cthulhu Dark is a rules-light system. So for my players, you will need 3d6, which we'll be rolling on the Roll20. These are the only dice that we will be using. I, as your GM, will only be using one. More on that in a moment. So your 3 dice that you have, your first one is your human die. Your human die is what you roll whenever you're doing something an ordinary person can do. So let's say you need to talk to an NPC and you want to get some information out of them, like where did Andrew go? You roll your human die to see how much information you get. A 1 to a 3 is you get a little bit of something. So I think I saw Andrew walking that way, but I can't remember when that was. On a 4, you get exactly what you asked for. Oh, I saw Andrew walking into the office about 20 minutes ago. On a 5, you get a little bit extra. I saw Andrew walking into that office about 20 minutes ago, and he was walking with Charles and they were arguing. A 6 is a bad thing. We'll come back to the 6 in a moment. Your second die is your profession. So your job. All of you have your jobs that you do in this office that we'll talk about when we get to character introductions. So if what you're doing relates to your job, you can roll 2d6 and take the higher of what you roll. So you can try to bullshit me into believing that something that you're doing is related to your job if you would like to try. I had someone try to echolocate a person in a music hall because they were a musician. So you can attempt it. Yeah, well, if it's cool enough, I might let you. So your third d6 is called your insight die. This is when you see something that's horrible or beyond your comprehension, or that's just terrible, like a murder, things like that. So that 6 I mentioned when you're rolling your d6s, if you roll a 6, that means you see something extra. You go into your insight. So you might notice that this NPC you're talking to about Andrew, her mouth does not match what she's saying. Her lip movement is saying something else, and it's something in a language you don't understand, filling in beneath the words. In that case, you'll roll your insight die. Your insight all starts at 1. Everyone needs to keep track of where you are. You're all starting at 1. If you roll above your insight, you go up. So go from 1 to 2 if you roll a 4. Make sense so far? Alright, so with your insight die, once you hit 5, let me know and I'll tell you what to do. Because once you hit 6, you become an NPC. I take control of you. You might die. I might have you do something horrible. Depends on what you're doing in the situation. So once you hit 6, it's game over for you, and we see what happens in the narrative with your character. So keep an eye on that insight because it is very, very important. Alright? Okay, the second rule of Cthulhu Dark. You are squishy. Very, very squishy. If you try to fight the mythos, you die. You try to stab Cthulhu, you throw a frisbee at the king in yellow, You try to arm wrestle a Shoggoth, whatever it is. If you attempt it, you die automatically because you are very squishy, ordinary, normal people. The goal is to do things other than fight. So, don't try to fight the mythos. Third thing you can do, and this is just a fun little thing, is push the roll, kind of like in Call of Cthulhu. If you roll poorly, you roll a 1 on trying to talk to the NPC, you really need to know where Andrew went, you can always re-roll with your regular die and your insight die. So you're upping the chance that something horrible might happen to you, because if you roll higher on your insight die than your regular die, that triggers an insight roll. So you can push the roll. I heavily encourage it. This is a one shot. Keep in mind, it's a one shot. Push the roll. The final thing when it comes to the rules is my favorite rule. And this is interfering with each other, or me as the GM interfering with you. If you want someone to fail because you think it would be more interesting for the story, or you just think it would be freaking hilarious, you can choose to roll against them. I can also roll against you. So if you think it's more interesting, for example, if Rue, you think it's more interesting that Colin fails in talking to this NPC, you can roll against him. And if you roll higher, you win. Something happens to Colin when he's trying to talk to this NPC. This is not the characters sabotaging each other. This is the players playing God, essentially. Fate stepping in and saying, potentially. All right, this is the only time I, as the GM, will roll in this game as well if I choose to roll against you. So, keep that in mind. Please do roll against each other, just not every single time, because then that gets kind of tedious. But in moments where you think it's more interesting or just really, really funny, we can go with that. All good?
Sounds cool.
If you have any questions about the rules during, please let me know and I'll be happy to go back over anything. Again, when anyone gets to 5 on their insight, let me know and I'll tell you what you can do next to try and hopefully prevent getting up to 6.
I saw your brain switching on when they said you can't fight the mythos, Chris. I saw your brain like, oh no, thinking mode. Wait, what else can we do? I just saw that moment in his eyes light up, like, uh-oh, thinking time.
Damn,
Yep.
I've been sabotaged.
Sabotaged before the game even starts.
Tricked.
Yep, no fighting the mythos. So we'll see how that goes for everybody. So I'd like to get into some character introductions. So tell me who you are and maybe what you look like and your role at this company. You all work for this company called LangCorp or Lang Corporation. You don't know exactly what it is that you do or what this company does. It's not really your job to know what this company does. You are all lower level peons who have been working here for about 6 months. You are all attending the holiday / Christmas party that is being hosted. You have been informed your bonuses will be given to you at this party, therefore very much you should attend this party if you want your bonuses. That may be the only reason why you're here. We shall see. So, tell me who you are, what you do at this company, and maybe a little bit about yourself.
Okay, I'll just say the order. Ladies first, Brew.
Oh my god, hey, I'm Janice. I've been a receptionist for 6 months here. Really, it's just to help me get my Starbies, and, some shoes and stuff. But, I don't really want to go to the party, but, we have to, so, see ya.
Nice. Chris.
I'm Gary. I work in IT. I've been an intern in IT, cleaning dirty PCs for the past 6 months, and I've came to this party reluctantly because my boss told me that I need to network with other people, but I don't know anything about networking, and there isn't any computers here, so I don't know what we're doing.
Aren't IT guys supposed to know networks?
Yeah, this is the wrong type of network.
Oh.
Nice. Colin.
I'm Bert. I work in the mailroom and I hate this shit already. God, I was only meant to be a month and I'm still here, and we keep talking about career progression and stuff. Just leave me alone. I'll throw mail at people and that's it. And now I have to go to some stupid party to get my measly Christmas bonus. Like, what's that all about? Freaking see these companies, honestly. Can I not retire already? I'm only 23. Like, you know what I mean? Why am I wasting my life already? I feel like I'm dead.
Well, I'm Nick. I'm the janitor, and I also fucking hate this place. I got kicked out of the army I got a dishonourable discharge for fighting. It wasn't my fault. Guy called me a pussy, so I broke both his jaws. And they dishonourably discharged me. So I work here as a janitor because it's the only place that would take me on. It's a small town with a huge company. Everybody's heard my reputation. Nobody would give me a job apart from this big, massive corp that moved into town. So it's a nice, easy number for me to get. I hate it, but it pays the bills. And apparently I don't get my bonus unless I come to this bullshit Christmas party. So here I am.
We all do what we gotta do in late stage capitalism. So something that I like to do in Cthulhudark is kind of set the character dynamics. You all know each other. You went through orientation at the same time. You were all hired around the same time. So whether or not you hang out outside of work or do more than briefly speak to each other when you're in the same building, up to you. But I like to ask some questions about how you feel about the other characters. This is canon. So if I ask Brew something about Colin, what she says is canon. So we'll see how we feel about each other. So let's start with Bert from the mailroom. What is it that Janice from reception does that really gets on your nerves?
Oh, she's so happy. Like, she likes this place. It's disgusting. I don't think she's really like genuine, but hey, you don't have to be so enthusiastic about it.
Janice, why is Gary from IT your favorite person out of this tiny group that went through orientation at the same time?
Oh my god, this one time when I had to take all these calls, I just kept hanging up on people because I didn't want to talk to them. And they made me call IT because I told them that it was my phone when it was really me, and Gary vouched for me. So thanks, Gary.
Oh, that Gary. So nice to everybody. So, Gary, what is a favor that Nick did for you at some point? Nick from Custodial.
Nick, there was this one time I got locked in the bathroom and I didn't want to tell anyone, and Nick saved me, and he got me out, and he swore he wouldn't tell anyone, and as far as I know he hasn't, because no one calls me like from Gary or anything like that, so I really appreciate him for that.
Okay. And Nick, what do you find interesting about Bert from the mailroom?
He seems to hate the place. It just everyone else here seems to like this company and to like this workplace for some reason. And Bert, I can see the steam coming off his head as he walks around. The man's anger personified. That's what I like about Bert. He hates this fucking place like me. We're two peas in a pod, me and Bert, I think.
Kindred spirits.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. So we have a little bit of a group dynamic here. Who likes who doesn't like who, or maybe some favors owed, who knows. So the second thing I like to do is to get a little snippet of character from each of you, a short scene, just a couple minutes with each of you individually, where I tell you something that's happening and you and I act that out, just to get an idea of who you are before we go into this corporate situation here. So, Nick,
Yep.
You had a fight with your partner, whoever that is, right before you came to this party. What was the fight about?
She wants to watch this Jersey Shore, Keeping Up with the Kardashians bullshit, and I just want to watch the football. It was a Saturday afternoon. I want to watch football and drink beer, And that's what we were fighting about. That she wants to watch bullshit TV. I have a 60-inch TV screen in my living room. I don't want to be watching the Kardashians on it. If I want to watch a Kardashian, I'll be watching a certain video that got them famous. I'm not watching Keeping Up With Them. I wanted to watch a football, and we had a fight about that.
What's the point of football, Nick? It's just a bunch of men running around, moving a ball from one end of a field to another. That's literally all they do.
Oh, sport's the greatest thing in life, though. This is what makes life. Being competitive and beating other people and showing them that you are better than them. That's what life is all about. Beating people.
That's really a great attitude to have towards life. I wish I'd known this about you before we moved in together.
Well, it is what it is. I'm a competitive person. I'm a winner, baby. You know, I'm a winner. I win. You see me. I'm a winner. I was quarterback for the high school team. I was champion of the basketball team in college. I'm a winner, baby. I love sports, and you make me watch this bullshit. It drains my brain. This bullshit.
Well, sometimes some of us need just to turn our brains off too, which is what you do when you're watching sports. And the television doesn't just belong to you, Nick.
Okay, well, next time we buy a new TV, you put it up on the wall, you drill a bracket into the wall, and you do all that, and then let's see who the TV really belongs to then, okay? You fit the next one.
Are you calling me helpless?
I'm calling you a woman.
Ooh, and I think we're gonna leave the scene there for the moment. Alright, so Janice from reception. One of your co-workers stopped at the reception desk earlier today. We'll say it's Jared from finance. And Jared wanted to have a little chat with you about something. What was that? What were you and Jared talking about?
Oh my god, Patty. She was wearing the most atrocious sweater the other day. It was god awful, but I told her she looked fabulous, you know? Trying to lift some spirits.
Just because it's December doesn't mean you have to wear those hideous Christmas sweaters all day, every day. 21 days of Christmas sweaters. How the fuck does anybody have that many Christmas sweaters?
I mean, I have 25, but it's just a number. I think mine are better, though, than Patty's for sure.
Are you wearing a Christmas sweater in this conversation?
I am.
What does it look like?
It's pink with sparkles.
Yes, but yours is at least glittery. It at least brightens things up. I mean, that Mary Pugmas with that really ugly pug on the front of it, that's just so tacky.
Oh my god, tell me about it. It was like gaudy for sure.
I just can't even with Patty. I mean, she has no fashion sense. Girl needs a makeover. We need to get the Fab Five from Queer Eye in here just to do a little bit of dressing up. What can I say?
Let's go, baby. I know you can do this with me. Like, we can make this place look fabulous.
And scene. All right. So, Gary from IT, you're not going to see your parents for Christmas this year. And you had a conversation with your mother about it before coming to this party. How does your mother feel about the fact that you're not spending Christmas with them this year?
My mother's delighted because they always get embarrassed because I'm the youngest that always makes the stupidest mistakes, and like she knows that if I'm there, then my grandmother and my brother are gonna pick on me, and like she's just so happy that she doesn't have to deal with it this year.
Okay. So, Gary, are you sure you're not gonna come home this year? I mean, you'd be super welcome. We've got your old bedroom set up. It would be great to see you.
I have to work overtime, and I can't afford the flight, and I can't make it. No, I don't think that I can be there. No.
Oh, overtime. So you're still working then. That's great.
If you can call it work, I don't think they really pay me, to be fair. I haven't really seen a paycheck in the past 6 months, but I'm too scared to ask anyone about it. So, I think, yeah, it's okay. I just do what I'm told, and I just turn up, and yeah. Sometimes I get cafeteria food. That's good.
Oh, you're still interning. Oh.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's a big company, and they have like loads of progression and things like that, and like I could make a living and make proud.
Why couldn't you go to medical school like your brother Dave?
Well,
You'd be making money by now.
Dave is just different than I am, and like he was always cool in school, and like he had all the friends and stuff, and like he also like flushed my head in the toilet, that, right? And
Oh, that was just kid stuff.
no, I was an adult. It was last year this happened.
Oh, just sibling rivalry. It's totally fine, but I'm sure you'll have a great Christmas by yourself. Just try to get a paycheck in the new year. We would love to hear that you're actually making money. Aunt Mabel just keeps asking, and it's really kind of embarrassing to have to tell her that you're still an intern.
Aunt Mabel is asking about me. That's
Kind of,
cool.
sort of.
Oh, kind of, sort of. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
She's my favorite person, but I don't. I can't come home this year. Bye.
And scene. All right. And Bert from the mailroom. Before coming to this party, you had a conversation with your roommate. Whoever that is up to you, whether it's a partner, whether it's just someone you're sharing a flat with, whatever it is. But you had a conversation with your flatmate that made you kind of annoyed. What was that conversation about?
Mate, when are you going to learn to bloody flush? Come on. Fucking every morning you leave one there, and it's bad enough I have to go and work in a fucking shithole company and not getting any money for it, but bloody hell. What is wrong? Do you not know how the handle works? Like, what's happening here?
It's just the handle's loose all the time.
Look,
it just
watch.
doesn't work.
Come here. Right, look, watch. Handle. Easy. It's not difficult. We're in the 21st century.
If you could stop shaving and leaving your beard all over the counter. That's super gross. Did your mother never teach you to clean up after yourself when you shave?
Well, she told me to flush. You know what I mean? That's a start. Can't help. If I didn't have to deal with your freaking leftovers first thing in the morning, then I wouldn't be so enraged that I'd actually be able to focus. But unfortunately, I can't see the sink because of the red mist, because you keep leaving your droppings. Like, what the hell? Are you a freaking crow or something? Or a pigeon?
We need to go to couples therapy, Bert. That's what it feels like. Feels like we're an old married couple.
Get me the divorce course as quickly as possible. See, as soon as I get a first paycheck, I'm out. God's sake. It's supposed to be... sorry.
See, you can finish.
You just wind me up as I was... Wind me up, I'm good.
Okay. And scene. All right, so all of you have had discussions with coworkers, family members, roommates, whatever it is, just before coming to this party. So your mood may be pretty sassy. It might be a bad mood. Who knows? But you're all standing around in this large room. It's a room usually used for conferences. Conferences about what? You're not exactly sure, because in your jobs, you don't ever go to these conferences. But there's red garland that's been strung up everywhere. There's a projector that's putting a fireplace onto the wall, complete with crackling sounds to make it quote-unquote cozy. Terrible covers of Christmas songs are playing over the speakers. There's stale cookies and catered Mexican food, but not from one of the higher-end restaurants. and punch that somebody has definitely, absolutely spiked. And everybody is standing around awkwardly talking to each other. The question is, do you all come in Christmas sweaters?
No.
No?
I'm still
Absolutely
in
not.
work clothes.
I'm wearing.
I've been ordered to be here in the work van, so I'm still in my mailroom uniform.
I'm wearing jeans and a red flannel shirt. Blue jeans and a red flannel shirt. That's it. Like just everyday normal shit. He does not give a shit about this party.
Are you still wearing your
Totally in a
pink
Christmas
sparkly one?
story. Oh yeah.
Fantastic. Does it light up or is it just sparkly?
No, but I do have a bracelet that lights up, so
Fantastic.
See you coming from like across the room.
What about Gary from IT? Does he dress up?
I'm wearing a Christmas jumper that was given to me that is too small, and it says, "Have you tried turning it off and on again?" in an attempt for me to be funny.
You attempt to be funny, but nobody seems to laugh at it. They just kind of go, huh? So, as our camera zooms in on this particular office party and we hear the loud strains of Last Christmas being sung by somebody slightly off key, we see a karaoke machine in the corner, like a speaker set up with microphones, and someone has set up their phone so you can go through and pick songs. Someone is singing along. Someone's singing along to Last Christmas, and they are just as off key as whoever's singing it on the YouTube video that's playing currently. So, what are the four of you doing to kick off this party as everyone is making awkward small chat, and the very excitable ones are bouncing around, talking to everybody, drinking their spiked punch, and eating a lot of sugar?
Well, first of all, I'm spiking the punch, and then second of all, I'm going hard on the beers. I fucking hate this place. I'm gonna get drunk for free.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Best thing to do at a holiday party.
Yep, I'm going hard on the beers.
I'm looking for the payroll clerk.
Okay. So you're looking around for Jared from finance.
Okay, start looking for Jared.
Gonna headbutt him.
Okay.
oh my
Yeah,
god,
I-
Patty, love that sweater. You look fabulous. Gary, I don't know that I get yours, but good for you. I love the sweater energy today.
Thanks for the compliment. And I reach for the punch that's been spiked and take a sip and spit it all over Patty.
Oh my. Oh, look, you're making the pug cry.
Oh my god, Jared's gonna love this. I gotta find Jared.
I awkwardly try to pat but not touch.
She just starts crying. It's like, this is my favorite sweater, and the pug is crying, and this is just why do bad things always happen to me? And she just starts sobbing. Very awkwardly.
Put my hands on my eyes and run. Just run in a direction.
Ha ha, Gary.
Gary is
Dumbass.
running off, looking very embarrassed. Everyone is kind of focused on Patty just for a moment because she's crying, and then most people just turn around and completely ignore her because that's what you do when you're in an awkward emotional situation and someone's crying and you don't know what to do with them. So, you went looking for Jared from finance, Bert, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Jared is standing in a corner. He's got a glass of punch. He's wearing this green sweater with a llama on it that says "Follow the llama." It
I
lights
just
up.
Cringe inwardly and just wanting to die.
He's also wearing a Santa hat, but it looks like it's a very expensive kind of Santa hat, the kind you get from a boutique, not just for $1 off of a Walmart.
I would never care. I just
Mhm.
just the contempt overrides everything to notice these
Mhm.
details.
Mhm.
Jared,
Oh, hey, Brad, is it?
close enough.
Okay.
No,
hi.
Names and shirt.
He glances at it a bit blurrily. He's had several glasses of punch at this point. Brut, what can I do for you, Brut?
Rather than hanging about here, do you know when these bonuses are getting handed out? Because I can go and finish handing out the mail and then come back if it's going to be a minute.
Oh, I don't know. Usually Susan from HR takes care of that, and they like to keep us on our toes by not telling us exactly when they're going to be handing things out. I think they've realized that people will just not show up until it's time, and so they just
that's
don't.
not a bad thing. You know, I can get some work done while you are doing this.
But it's holiday, my dude. You don't need to be working. It's the 21st. It's almost Christmas.
Well, like I was saying, if I've got time, I'll go and get this done. You do whatever, and then I'll come back and check in. Just if anyone's looking for me, that's what I'm doing, okay?
Sure. Brut. He takes another sip of his punch. Says, "This is really good punch this year. I wonder what kind of agave maybe they added to it."
So I have my mail trolley just outside the conference room
Uh-huh.
in preparation for this, so I just step outside and get the mail trolley and start throwing things at desks.
Okay. Start putting things in pigeonholes, dropping things on desks.
Yeah, just
all of that.
anything's better. At least this feels properly like slavery than that stuff in that room. That actually feels worse than being. I'd sooner have chains put on me to the trolley than sit in that thing. This is more honest. So I just trundle my trolley and start doing that.
Okay, so you're
Slowly.
trundling around in the offices as slowly as you possibly can, dropping mail off. It's kind of dark. There's just some low-level lighting out here when you first come out, and you swear for a moment, just as you go and grab your cart, that there's a breeze. No, a bit of wind. It's cold in here, and the aircon shouldn't be running. It's December. But you do feel very cold for a brief moment.
Well, can these idiots do nothing right? Who switched the aircon on? Flipping. I know it's on this side of the wall, so I'll go over and look at the switch.
Yep, it's supposed to be warm, according to the heat's on, according to the thermometer.
This is a shithole, and just ignore it and just. Dum, 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 dum.
Okay.
I throw the next one at somebody's desk. Like, not even try to let it just slide across the desk and knock a few pens over. Just feel good about that.
Bit of a clatter as the pens fall over. So we'll leave you there for the moment, trundling around, desperately avoiding the party with everything in your
But I'm working,
being.
And I've turned up, and I've stated my intentions to come back. So I'm not dipping out.
You're here. That's what matters, is you're here. So, Janice, you were going to go find Jared as well after the whole incident with the pug sweater. You see Bert talk to Jared for a moment and then head off. He looks very angry and cranky, but that's just Bert, so that's normal. Jared is swaying slightly, holding this glass of punch. Hey, Janice.
Oh my gosh, I have to tell. What were you talking with Brody? Oh God, what is his name?
I think it's Brut.
Oh, Brut. Yeah, what were you talking with him about? He looks PO'd.
He wanted to know when the things in the envelopes, the bonus things, when we're going to get those. And I don't know, because Susan from HR takes care of that for some reason. I don't know why Susan from HR would be in charge of the bonus check things, but she does it every year. At least she has for the past 5 years that I've been here. But he seemed to be a bit mad. That's what he was mad about it. So he went off to do whatever it is Brut does. I'm not sure what he does, to be honest.
Jared, did you have a stutter that I didn't know about?
No, I think it's the liquidy stuff.
Oh my God, you're a lightweight. I'm gonna go get you another glass. Hold on a second. I've got so much to tell you about Patty too. Oh my gosh. Just wait right here. And I'm gonna run off and get another glass of whatever.
Okay, you run off to the punch table. As you run off to the punch table, you see, there's people standing around holding these glasses of punch, but you can give me a human roll, first roll of the game. Don't look so terrified, it's just a human roll.
A 4.
4, okay. So with a 4, you notice that the punch has changed. Someone's brought in maybe a different set of punch because it was kind of a clearish pink when you first came in about 30 minutes ago. It is now a deep reddish color. Maybe it's just for the holiday stuff, dyeing it to make it look more festive, whatever, but it's definitely not the same punch it was when you came in.
Oh my god, it must be jungle juice. I have not had this in ages. Jared's gonna love it. I'm just gonna pour a full glass.
You pour the biggest glass that you can possibly manage for Jared.
Oh, hey, Gary. Nice to see you.
Have they started handing out the bonuses and stuff yet? Because I don't feel comfortable here anymore since what happened with Patty.
Yeah. Something about Susan was gonna bring them. I don't know. Maybe Nick can go get some keys or whatever and check her office and see if she's there. I'm not too sure. I'm going back to chat with Jared, though. I've got a lot to catch him up on. Okay, bye.
Okay. And you're gone before you can finish stuttering out the sentence.
So you're stuttering in the corner, feeling very awkward, not able to really talk to people. Patty is wandering off, still teary-eyed, and there's still spots of drink all over her pug, on her sweater. It's possibly ruined. She's never going to be the same again. That's what she keeps saying to anybody who will listen, which is not really anybody. And a petite woman with dark hair, wearing a sweater that's just got a giant Santa Claus on it. It's got one of those little pom-poms for a nose, and the eyes light up. Comes over. This is and she looks up at you, and this is Keiko from Health and Safety. You gotta be a bit more careful there, Gary? Yes, I think you're Gary. The IT intern, right? You've got to be a bit more careful with interacting with people. You could spill things and create a slipping hazard. It's really, you really got to be more careful.
Yeah, well, I was told that the punch was non-alcoholic, and I tried it, and it had alcohol, and then like it's not my fault. Whoever spiked that is really, I don't know. Is it supposed to be alcoholic?
She frowns. We're not licensed for alcohol. No. You're saying someone spiked the punch?
Well, it's definitely got alcohol in it.
I will have to speak to someone about this. I don't know which someone I will have to speak to about this, but this is definitely not up to safety standards. And behind you on the karaoke, someone starts singing All I Want for Christmas Is You.
Dave.
Very loudly.
It's Janice.
So Janice is doing karaoke now, and Jared.
All I want for Christmas is you.
And Jared has joined in because he is drunk enough now to do karaoke. And Bert, outside, you can hear the karaoke because it is so loud. Someone's turned up the speaker, so you can't quite hear all of it, but you can hear that someone is singing very loudly. So, Nick, you're getting wasted. Absolutely wasted. Do you try to talk to anybody? Do you just stand in a corner? What is it you're doing while you're chugging down beer after beer?
Just looking at other women that are not my girlfriend.
Mm.
Being a sleaze.
Mhm.
I like, he goes up to some girl and acts like she was choking on her drink. He goes up behind her and gives her a hug. Tries to give her the Heimlich maneuver. Oh, I thought you were choking on your drink there. I'm sorry, I'm the only one in here with a first aid certificate. I thought you needed the Heimlich maneuver. Like, he's a prick. He's had loads of
Mhm.
beers and he's behaving like a prick.
So this is Lindsay from sales. You've seen her around briefly, just going in and out of the elevators and things like that. Sorry, the lifts. And she chokes a little bit actually on her drink. She'd just taken a big sip of punch as you come over. She's like, "Oh, who are you? Do I know you? Do you even work here?"
This place doesn't run without me. I'm your janitor. I'm the one that
Oh,
empties your trash. I'm the one that cleans your shit up. The one that cleans your toilets. Yeah, this place would close down if it wasn't for me. What do you mean, do I even work here? This place doesn't work without me.
it's just I've never seen you before.
Well,
Or
all the most
Well, I've
important
seen
work's done
somebody
behind the
in
scenes, isn't it?
I've seen somebody in a blue, like, what do you call it? Like a jumpsuit or something, going around with a basket. Is that you?
That would be me. I think you would call it a boiler suit in the UK, or a jumpsuit over there, right?
She doesn't actually know what it's called, which is why she calls it a jumpsuit.
Yeah. Well, I guess it is
It's called
it's what we would call
coveralls here.
yeah, a boiler suit. Yeah.
Hmm. Oh,
Yeah, that's me, Nick, the janitor.
oh, okay. Nice to meet you, I guess. Could you stop touching me, please, before I have to go to HR? This is a complete violation of my personal space.
Sure.
Hmm.
Knock back another beer. What's your name anyway? Sorry. I don't know
Ugh,
anyone. I'm the
Lindsay.
janitor. I don't talk to people. Oh, Lindsay. Yeah, sure. Lovely to meet you, Lindsay. I'm off to get another drink.
All right, you go off to get another drink. And as you do, you're going over to the table. There's the punch set up on it. There's this cooler that's got the beers and things in it sitting next to the table that has the punch on it. And there's these garlands that are strung along the walls. Give me a human roll.
Okay. A 3.
3. Okay. There's an odd smell. Just this weird kind of smell that you pick up as you're grabbing a beer, but you can't quite figure out what it is. And maybe it's just because there's so many bodies in here, there's so many people in here. Yeah, it's just a smell.
Is it a bad smell? Unpleasant?
Yeah, it's unpleasant.
So maybe somebody's body odor or something.
Could be, yeah.
Okay.
Could just be someone didn't put deodorant on or didn't shower before coming to this
it'll be
thing.
that Gary nerd from IT. He probably doesn't know what shower is.
Poor Gary. So, you're all doing karaoke or being awkward in a corner or being a bit of a Chad. I don't know if that's a thing over in the UK.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So, or delivering mail. When a tall, forbidding woman dressed in a neat pencil suit with dark hair and very piercing blue eyes comes out to the center of the floor. This is Susan from HR. No one wants to have to interact with Susan from HR on a daily basis. If you are meeting with Susan from HR, there's something very, very bad in your future. Or perhaps in your past. Might be why you're going to see Susan from HR. But she has a presence about her that just sort of fills the room with better sit up and pay attention. And also, I am slightly terrified of you. And she's standing there and says, "It is now time for the White Elephant gift exchange. Everyone should participate. Jared, you should probably go get Bert. I saw him leaving. You'll be getting bonuses after this, but everyone needs to participate, as is normal at a office Christmas party." She carefully enunciates every single syllable. come along, come along. And a couple of guys start pulling out presents from where people have stacked them in a corner. Everyone was supposed to bring a gift. And Jared pokes his head out the door. Bert, he looks extremely wasted at this point. Says, Brett, whatever. It's the gifting thingy now, and then you get your bonus. So you should probably come in.
Fine. I just put my trolley and stand outside the door and like, making gifts.
You didn't bring one? It was in the email.
Do I have time for emails? Run about this place?
I don't know.
You used to actually any work here?
Look, man, all I know is we do this every year. Oh, but is it your first year? I don't know.
And probably gonna be the last, to be honest with you.
Understandable.
A company or a cult? Like, these are all weird, strange folk.
Well, it might be anybody's last year here. You never know.
Be a blessing. Right, just
He
sort of-
taps the side of his head. Could be anyone's last. He stumbles back into the party.
I think you need to go have a lie down. You.
Nope. Totally fine. All good with
The
Jared.
office is that way.
Oh.
I'll turn him from walking back into the main office and in the conference room.
Thanks, man. You're a real pal. He gives you a kind of weird drunk salute. You're a real pal. Thanks, Brett. And he stumbles back into the conference room. So a bunch of chairs have now been set up in a semicircle around the presents that are lined up. Everyone who brought a gift is given a number. Did any of the three of you bring gifts?
No.
Yeah, it's 2 6-packs of beer.
Okay.
I have a slip of paper that I wrote on.
That's the gift you brought?
Oh, this will be good.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a poem, then it's from the heart. You can. Corporate weirdos love that sort of nonsense.
Gary, did you bring anything?
Yeah, I brought a very old school PC that I put new computer components in. So
Excellent.
it's like a big grey old style tower that looks very, very vintage, but it's actually amazingly powerful high spec.
Wonderful. So what I'm going to have you do, the three of you who brought gifts, because Bert, you're just watching, I assume, from a corner.
Yeah, well, I'm company mandated to be here, so I'm just, don't have to enjoy it.
You get a very disapproving look from Susan from HR.
I give her just as people one back.
So the three of you who brought gifts, I want you to roll your human die. I have actually made a list of gifts that you could possibly get, and I will tell you what you get.
4 for me.
Okay.
3 for me.
3 for me.
Now we're fighting.
So, Chris, would you mind re-rolling?
I'll reroll, yeah.
You can't get the same gift.
I got a 4. I'll roll again.
Oh my god.
I got a 4. I'll roll again. I got a 6.
Okay. 6 is not going to affect you at the moment. So on the 3, Janice, you get a mani-pedi set, but when you open it, there's a smell that kind of hits you. It smells like copper. And there's a severed hand with the hand
Oh,
I think I
don't know if it was
think
just
she
me, but I froze for a second there.
Everyone froze.
Everyone froze.
Everyone
Yeah.
froze.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not about to
Should I
cast
redo
real
that?
spells. This is
We
only
got to there's a
pretend.
severed hand.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the severed hand with the fingers that are just in that UV lamp that you use for gel nail polish, but you can see the bone sticking out of the wrist. It looks like it's been hacked off the arm. And I need an insight roll from you for that.
It's a real hand.
It's a real hand.
It's a 6.
Oh dear.
It does
So
sound
I
good,
have a
right?
I have a house rule. If you roll a 6 on your insight, you have the potential for something even worse to happen. You might go up by 2 points.
Oh, joy.
So you've gone up by 1. You are now at 2 insight. And as you look at the hand, you realize it's fresh. And you recognize that hand? That's Michaela from marketing. She brings you coffee sometimes. She's the only one who does, but she'll drop off a coffee for you from Starbucks or from whatever other coffee shop she happens to go to. And that's her hand. You recognize the shade of blue nail polish, and she had a little tattoo of a bird on her wrist, and you can just see the wing of that bird. And so you're going to make that second insight roll as you suddenly realize you're looking not just at a hand, but the hand of someone you know and kind of like.
It's a 1.
Okay. So you stay at 2, but this is deeply unsettling. And the people around you go, "Oh, let's see. Oh, fantastic. That's a lovely set. Anyone want to steal?" As the next number comes up.
Wait, they saw the hand too and they just want to
Yep.
steal it? Oh!
So, Nick, you got a 4.
Yep.
All right. So you open your package and you've got what looks like a mannequin, like one of those little models that artists use with the articulated
The
joints.
wooden one with the joints, yep.
Mm-hmm. But the thing is, your face has been painted on it. It is a startlingly realistic rendition of your face, down to every last wrinkle and the bags under your eyes from too much alcohol. And it's got blood pouring out of the eyes. The blood is literally trickling out of the eyes. You can smell the coppery scent, and you see this blood dripping down the mannequin.
Oh. Okay, that's very weird.
Yeah, that's going to be an insight roll.
Yeah, okay.
People around you are clapping, going, "Oh, someone must have guessed they were going to get you,
Nice.
Nick." Oh, you go up by 1.
Yep.
Someone must have guessed they'd get you, Nick. That's really cool. Man, I wish someone liked me enough to paint my face on a mannequin or a voodoo doll.
Yeah, it's very cool. Someone spilt something on it though. I think there's still the paint's still wet on it. There's red wet paint on it. It's very cool, but yeah, they kind of messed up the face a little bit. There's like red on it. It's weird. It smells funny too.
Oh well,
I'm
that's
drunk.
just normal.
I
That's just
hardly
how
care.
things go. It's a white elephant gift exchange. Everything's fine.
I mean, obviously, it's some woman who's in love with me has made a doll of me because she loves me, but they've dropped some red on the face or something, some lipstick maybe. Maybe this is the fresh lipstick they smeared on the face when they kissed it before they put it in the box before it went to me, I suppose.
Here you go.
Yeah,
Rationalize.
Of
Yeah.
course. Must
People are
be,
saying this
must
to
be,
you out loud.
Must be it.
Mhm. So, you got a 6, Gary. You are the last one to go in this white elephant gift exchange. There's been some weird things, like there's been actual voodoo dolls, there's been charms, like what you might see on a TV special about witchcraft. All sorts of very interesting gifts, with yours being the only semi-normal ones, including the slip of paper. And the person who gets yours, who is Brad from R&D, just goes, "Oh man, I should have stolen yours." But Gary, you go last, and you've got this large box. It's a little bit heavy. You have to sort of slide it over into the middle of the room to open it. And when you open the box, you see a head and a torso lying in the box. And this head and torso is Chad from IT. He's one of the regular workers in IT. You see him all the time, but his gut has been split. Oh, I just
be
lost
back.
everybody for a minute.
Yeah, we got froze again.
I got-
with the got split.
I got
Yeah,
to
guts
his
split.
guts split, yeah.
So his guts have been split open and his intestines are missing. You can see the rest of his organs, the blood pooling around the bottom of the box. And his eyes are open and he's staring directly at you. I'd like an insight roll for that.
Oh, really? I thought I would be totally fine.
You might be.
5.
So Chad is staring up at you. And then he blinks. And says, "Showtime!"
Whoa.
And everyone starts applauding. You got the best one. You got the end of the night. You got the start to the whole thing. Great job, Gary. And people are clapping you on the back. And Chad is smiling, just this head and this torso.
I think I'm gonna puke.
Mm-hmm. Oh, don't worry, man. Don't worry. You'll be fine. This is the least of your worries. As Susan from HR comes over into the center and she claps, says, "Well, now the last gift has been opened. Congratulations, Gary. That's wonderful for you. It's time to manage bonuses. And see, your bonus will depend on how well you do tonight. They're waiting for you up in the CEO's office. If you can get there. Your bonus depends on how well you do, and your continued employment depends on, well, your survival this evening. Good luck, everyone." And everyone around you goes, "Yeah!" and starts cheering. And you see a couple of them pulling off like their high heels and putting on running shoes. And Jared suddenly looks a lot more sober, Janice, and he claps you on the back and says, "Oh, it's your first Gauntlet. This is wonderful. You're going to have a great experience, I'm sure. All, however many of you look a little confused. Don't worry, it'll clear up very quickly."
I'm sorry, I'm still trying to recover from like Michaela's hand in the box. I don't really. You said a gauntlet? Like, what is that, Jared?
We're gonna get up to the CEO's office. If we survive the night, we'll get a really fat bonus. It's fantastic. Just watch out for the others, especially Brad. He's a little vicious. Can't trust anyone, not in the Gauntlet. And he cheers and he takes off out the door.
I'm gonna start running too.
I think I've been watching this, not necessarily seeing the gifts, but like arms folded, huffing from the table. Like, what is wrong with you people?
Oh, my competitive red mist just came up. Like, I just heard there's a competition to get to the CEO's office fastest, and it's a gauntlet. I'm smashing people out the way to get there already.
Of course you are.
I'm back on that football pitch, smashing people out my way for that to get to that touchdown. Like, yeah.
You're elbowing people out of the way. Keiko from Health and Safety
running
falls.
flat over the top over Karen from HR and Steve from IT, just flattening people. Like,
Susan from HR stands.
Get out my way, suckers! I'm getting all the bonus.
That's the kind of competitive spirit we like to see here at Lang Corporation. Well done. You have a better chance than most, I'd say. And Jared calls, "Come on, this happens every year, people. You know the drill."
Jared, what is the drill? Come on, like, what is going on?
You take off running after him. What about Gary?
Gary's trying for like fire escapes and like other doors and any way to avoid the crowds.
So you run out of the conference room then, because the fire doors are outside of the conference room. They're in the main hallway. The door appears to not want to open. You put your hand on it, and it does not budge, and it feels cold. Icy cold.
Put my gloves on.
Hey,
And
put your gloves
try
on.
again.
Okay. So give me a human roll.
You had to pull some sort of prop out at some point, didn't you, Chris?
Hey, we like
This-
props around here.
Oh yeah, we do.
A 1?
Okay. You cannot make the door budge, and not only that, it appears to have frozen solid in place. Even the handle won't turn. It appears to be completely stuck. And you swear you start to see those little, like in movies when something starts to freeze over, those little cracks of ice and frost crawling up the door.
I run immediately in the opposite direction again towards some kind of salvation. Just thinking that I'm gonna get frozen and turned into a big guile gloop.
Entirely possible. Who knows? So, Bert, you're standing there with your arms crossed. Everyone has left at this point except for Susan from HR, who's just standing there. And the shadows around her are starting to swirl a little bit. And you can see she has not one shadow, but 4 behind her as she's staring at you.
What the hell is wrong with you?
This is how things are done at Lane Corporation.
You could have mentioned
Off
it, I
you
wouldn't
go.
have joined. Have you nothing better to do with your time than stupid games? And what the hell's going on with the lights in here?
She smiles and the lights flicker, and her smile gets wider and wider and wider. And she snaps her fingers, and emerging out of her shadow, you see it looks like bones, shadowy bones, rolling out of her shadow, starting to assemble themselves into what looks like a massive... Is that a reindeer? Made out of shadow and bone. And the more you look at it, the more it starts to solidify into actual bone. It's time to run. And I think that's an insight roll before you react.
Yeah, I'm like,
Hmm.
not taking a look at that. Oh, yes!
nice.
Good start, dude. Let's get a good start.
What'd you
Take
get?
A roll again. Well, it's me, so
Oh,
I got a
yeah.
6.
Fantastic. So
I can do
You
it, so
go-
like, get ready to go again.
you go up to the 2. But the thing is, you feel like this bone creature, which was just shadows a moment ago, is looking at you. And you see these very human eyes looking back at you out of this bony structure. And the thing is, there are no eyes there, but it's like you can see them, and they're watching you, and you feel it on you. And then you
I
hear...
start having a freak out. Like, my anger just went, what
Mhm.
the?
Brrrr.
So I throw a chair at it, and like, what the?
You throw a chair at
Yeah.
it, it moves like lightning, and you're going to make that second insight roll as it turns just effortlessly dodges and turns to look at you.
A 4. I was hoping to get another 6 just to ramp it up.
So you got a 4. All right, so you're up to 3 insight now.
Right.
Let me know when you hit 5. Might be sooner than you
It
think.
might be the next right.
Colin's cursed. Colin Dice is cursed. He's got this history with
That's-
dice. If dice are going to kill anyone, it's him.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what the system is.
Doesn't matter
This
what
is
we're
gonna
playing
be
now.
epic.
See if you make it to the halfway point. All right.
I'm gonna try
so-
and make it out of the room.
Are you running for the door?
Yeah, and I'm throwing another chair. Like, what? You crazy? What the hell is this? You lunatics.
You throw the chair,
At
and
Susan.
this thing
At Susan.
at Susan. Okay, you
Yes.
throw the chair at Susan, and she just seems to sort of matrix slide out of the way, and you see her shadows split so that 2 shadows are going to one side, 2 shadows are going
gosh.
to the other, and there is no shadow behind her as she slips back into place.
Ugh! I'm burning this building down, you lunatic.
Fire's not the answer to everything. And you hear all the shadows echoing that voice back at you.
I'm gone.
All right, you are out the door. So, Nick, you were first out.
I'm
You
going
were
to win that
bolting
top
out.
prize bonus. Yes.
Mhm. So you run out into the hallway, and it is freezing cold. It is icy. Your feet start to slip as you realize you are running on a hallway that is covered in ice. There's ice all over the walls, ice on the ceiling. It is
Shit.
freezing.
Oh, shit. Try my best to sober up and go into agility mode and try and
Mhm.
get over this icy. I don't know what's going on here. Like, the air conditioning's not broke. I know because it's me that maintains it. I know it's not broken, so I don't know what they're doing here. Maybe it's part of their Gauntlet game. They're trying to make it more difficult for people, but that's fine for me. I'm an athlete and I'm a winner, so I'm sliding across that with the grace of a cat. Easy peasy.
All right. Well, give me a human roll to see how graceful you are.
Okay. 5.
5. All right. You are sobered up fairly quickly by how cold it is. Like there's this blast of cold air in your face, and you start sliding on the ice. You are gliding around everyone. You see this massive icicle come shooting up through the ice, and it impales one of the other office workers. You don't even know his name. He's just suddenly impaled through the chest, and his blood is pouring everywhere until it freezes very quickly on the icicle.
Whoa. So he tries to stop. I guess you're going to make me make an insight roll here, but he tries to skid the halt like, whoa, I'm not dying for no Christmas bonus. He's just sobered up. He's like, and he's running the other direction. He's on the ice, skidding around, trying to get turned around and getting nowhere. Like, trying to get turned around.
It's not just the massive icicle impaling a coworker that gets you. It's the fact that no one else seems to have a problem with this. Jared just yells, "See you later, sucker!" and vaults over the icicle. And everyone else is cheering, "One down! One down!" And they keep going. So I'll
Yes,
take
I'm
that
out of
insight
here.
roll from you.
Yeah, okay. 2. So that's
All right.
equal to. So it's not over.
Yep, so you stay at 2. So you try to loop around the icicle and head back the other direction. The door to the conference room is no longer there.
What? Right. I want to look for the next nearest door, and you're going to give me my career, or what's it? Profession roll
Profession
on this,
die.
because I'm the janitor. I know where every door is.
You know where everything is.
Yeah,
All right.
the quickest way through the building.
So roll your 2d6.
What I'm going for. Right, okay. That's 6 and a 2.
6 and a 2. Fantastic. So you look around and you suddenly realize you don't know where you are. You're no longer in a hallway. You realize this as you whip around the icicle, and you realize the door's not there, and then you take in the fact that you are in an icy landscape. There are trees around you. There's ice under your feet. There's a cold wind blowing and snow swirling, starting to swirl around you. You see the others who are running ahead of you past this icicle that's impaled whoever the fuck it was. And they don't seem to have a problem with this either. But you are not in that office building anymore. And that's going to be another insight roll because of the 6.
Ooh, okay. 4. That's over, so I'm now on 3.
Okay. You've got some competition there, Colin.
Yeah, I'm coming for you.
So,
Who's gonna burn out first?
Janice and Bert, you ran in the same direction out the door. And you're in this cold iciness. Janice, you see this person ahead of you get impaled as you see Nick whipping around trying to get away from here. He's headed back in the other direction, but you've both just seen this person die, and you see other icicles start shooting up through the ice, catching someone in the foot. She screams, pulls herself free, and starts limping along the ice, blood trailing after her. Others easily slide around the icicles and laugh, saying, "Not this time," and just keep on going, running, running, running through the ice. Gary, aren't you glad you went the other direction? So
Yep.
I'll take insight rolls from the two of you as you find yourself in this icy landscape.
Oh, that's alright. I'm strangely okay with it.
You're okay with it?
I got a 6.
I'm just like, I am full of anger and hate at
Mhm.
this. Is this the latest of corporate nonsense that you have to go through? Like, my brain's just rebelling
Mhm.
against everything in front of me.
Your brain's refusing to cope with it.
Yep. However, I see people running and I realize I have a trolley.
Do you?
Yes, I left it. What?
But you're not there in the office anymore.
Who took my trolley?
You could give me a human roll with your profession. See if maybe it's around somewhere. We'll get to you in a moment, Janice.
What would be really nice. So that's 2d6 then?
Yep.
Who took my trolley? Oh,
How'd
we're
you do?
frozen. 7. 5 and a 2.
5 and a 2. Okay. So you see your trolley off to the side under a tree. It is frozen over. Maybe you can push it, maybe hopefully break it through a bit of this ice that is frozen around the wheels. It's not like it's frozen in a block of ice. It is frozen to this icy, snowy, whatever this is. But you can get your trolley.
Yeah, so make a good sled.
Mm-hmm. Good idea. So while you're doing that, Janice, you got a 6. So you're looking around here and you realize you're no longer in the office building. But you see, as you look around, Patty. Fucking Patty. Patty is loping along. That's really the only way to describe it. The way she's moving. And you see her darting between people. She doesn't seem to be trying to get ahead of them. She's calling out. You're not gonna make it. You might. You're not gonna make it. Ha! Gonna get you this time. And then you see her pull out a knife. And she stabs Jared in the back. And you see her rip up towards his shoulder and then pull the knife out with organ meat still impaled on this knife, and Jared collapses with his blood pooling everywhere. But the worst part is you hear him say, "Jolly good show." as he collapses and expires on the ground, his blood pooling around him and the others making way so as to not slip on his blood. So give me that second insight roll, please.
Wow.
It's a 5.
Okay, so you go up. You're at 4 now? 3. Okay.
Ooh.
This is going great, guys. So, Gary, you went the other direction. You went to the door. Fire door, trying to get out. And then you bolted in the opposite direction, trying to get away from the crowds, the noise, the everything. And you suddenly realize you are not in the office anymore, as you see this vista ahead of you. And the problem for you is, as you see these trees and the ice and you feel the cold starting to bite into you, good thing you have your gloves, you start to see people running towards you, your office mates. They're running in your direction. Some of them have blood on their hands. One is limping along with blood trailing from her foot. And then you see Jared going down as he's been stabbed in the back, and Patty keeps running. Her eyes are wild. She lopes along. She's holding this bloody knife, and she's cackling to the sky. And you are not in Kansas anymore, Toto. So I'd like that insight roll
Woof, woof.
as this horde is bearing down upon you.
Oh, okay, let's go. 5. Oh, is that
No,
2?
you've rolled 2. You rolled a 3 and a 2. You rolled 2d6.
Oh, I'll go for the first one, the 3.
The 3. Okay, so you go up. What are you up to now?
3.
All right, so everybody's at 3. This is great.
Yeah.
We're already at 3. The good news is it gets harder to fail from here. All right. So you see this horde of people running towards you, Gary. You see in the distance someone who looks like Janice. You can't really see much past that because the snow is starting to pick up now. There is blood in the air. You start to hear howling coming from the trees. What do you do?
So Gary takes out his old style GPS like hacker phone, like the really old ones that like slide
Mhm.
up and have a full keyboard, and he's like trying to like frantically message on a forum that he's in that is using like GPRS internet to try and contact someone to help from the outside because he's trapped and doesn't know what to do. While doing this, he's trying to get away from the trees and screaming at the siren-y, crazy pug ugly patty lady with the knife, and just not really paying attention, just darting in a away direction.
Away direction. All right, so you start running. You get a message on your phone. It's this beep, and it just says, "Ho ho ho, motherfucker."
Oh, no, is it? It can't be. Is this Uncle Jared? No, how did he get on this server?
And the thing is, you have no signal. But you got that message regardless, as you take off running in the other direction. And you hear the howling of this crowd of office employees. Less than 50 of them now, as some of them have been murdered or impaled by icicles, or turned into gifts in a white elephant gift exchange. But you keep running as you hear on the wind around you, ho, ho, ho. So the rest of you were kind of close together at this point, because Nick, you'd whipped around trying to get out of here, and Bert and Janice, you were coming up, bringing up the rear and sort of slid to a halt almost when you saw Jared getting murdered. What do you do?
Well, I've got my trolley, so I'm thinking make a sled out of it and just push and jump onto it.
Okay, you push your trolley, you jump onto it, and start sailing off.
Yep.
I think Bert's onto a good idea, so I'm going to try and catch up to him and try and jump and use my athletics to run up behind it and give it a good push and get it moving faster. I think he's onto something there. I'm going to jump on board on that.
I'm like, what the oh, right, fucking come on
Let's
then,
go.
let's go.
I'll get on one side and start pedaling with one leg. Let's go.
We'll do like a bobsleigh.
Yeah. Come on.
I'm imagining one of those mail carts where it's got like a bag for incoming mail and a bag for outgoing mail.
Yeah,
so
it's
like one in
like a
each bag.
frame, yeah, and
We're
they've got
hanging on each bag.
It's essentially a steel frame, so you can just have the
So
letters started freezing.
the letters indeed are crackling with ice.
Sweet.
Is that your weapon?
Shurikens.
Letter weapons.
You've been warned about fighting the mythos, man. I'm out of here, like.
Yeah, but
I'm
we've
not
got
thinking
something to
about
throw at the
weapons.
people behind us.
Oh yeah, actually.
Human-
Fight them.
There's humans in here.
Yeah,
You
we can
the
fight
other-
them.
I just see people killing each other. I'm not saying anything not here. I'm just saying weird stuff, and I think I might have breathed something in. I don't care. I want out of here.
All I care about is getting
And I've
out of
got
here. I'm not against throwing. I mean, I was all for running people over just to get a bonus. I don't mind throwing some icicles at people to survive. Absolutely.
So, Janice, you see Bert taking off in his improvised sled, and then Nick turns around and starts sliding after, trying to catch up. What do you do?
I know you said we're not in the office anymore, but is there
Nope.
like a telephone nearby? Like, is
There
there
is
any
not.
kind of semblance of anything? Okay. Then I'm just gonna call out to Patty.
Mhm.
Oh my god, Patty! I so love your sweater. I've always been so nice to you. Please, can you help me? Like, how do I get out of this?
You're calling out to the woman who just murdered Jared with a knife
Yeah.
to help you.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a human roll. I'll let you add your profession if you would like to,
Yes,
because your
because
whole
I'm in
job is
customer
interacting with
service.
people. Yes. Trying to get people to
This
be
will be
nice
good
to
if it
you when
works.
they've been mean. Yeah.
It's a 2 and a 2.
A 1 and a 2?
Two
and a two.
Nice roll.
Oh, a 2 and a 2. Would you like to push the roll?
Oh, wait, that's
Sure,
not a
why
good roll,
not?
is it?
Okay, so roll 3d6.
A 2, a 4, and a 1.
Okay.
That's a good
So
roll.
you got a 4. So you call out, and the other 3 of you will hear this on the icy morning air. It's bright out here. It was night when you went into the party. No one has time to think about that right now. You hear her calling out for Patty, and the 2 of you who are in the sled, you see Patty kind of not quite stop, but slow down. She tilts her head and sniffs the air. And then she turns around and starts running back towards Janice.
I just want to say that just while I'm on this sled, that
Mhm.
all the alcohol that I had earlier and the cold air has made my nose is glowing red. So just picture this guy with the red nose on this sled, like,
Are you guiding my sleigh tonight?
yeah. Let's say I even had some like reindeer antlers on from being drunk and partying before. That was like my effort. So I was like, you didn't bring a Christmas jumper, at least put these on. So I've got these reindeer antlers on. My nose is bright red and I'm going on this sled.
So Patty goes running past you, and you can see Gary running off into the trees off to the side where you hear the howling coming from. And I'm sure that'll be totally fine for you, Gary. But Patty comes running back to you, Janice, and she crouches down. You see she's got blood on her hands, but it looks like she smeared Jared's blood on her face, on her cheeks, on her forehead. And she crouches down holding the knife and says, "You gotta keep running. You better watch out."
I'm totally trying not to cry too, but like, your sweater's ugly, and I just wanted to tell you to your face, and I'm gonna try and just like punch her.
Okay, she's gonna attempt to stab you. That's gonna be my version of rolling a failure die, essentially.
Sounds good.
Yep. So you do not get your profession on this one because you are not an assassin.
Yeah. It's a 4. Oh wait, JK,
Okay.
I rolled 2d6 again, so it's a 2.
All
2 and a
right.
2.
I also got a 2. So you both miss. You go to swipe at her, and she tries to stab you with this knife once she realizes, and she hisses at you, says, "Don't come for the pug." And then she snarls.
No,
And
she'd
she
have to
jumped-
snort like a pug. The way pugs do that weird.
Mm-hmm. She does kind of remind you of that a little bit as her nose wrinkles up as she snarls at you. And then she takes off running as she calls back. "Don't get too close again. I won't miss. I won last year."
Oh my god, gag me with a spoon! And I'm just gonna start running after her. Like in the same direction.
So you take off running. The Bert and Nick, you are in your improvised sled, pushing yourselves along, and this is just the most hilarious image with your
Yep.
reindeer antlers out in
Is
front.
anybody behind us? Because, like I said, I'm just going to wing ladders at them. It's the frozen ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Give
if
me a
anyone behind
human
us are
roll.
getting ladders winged at them.
So, yeah,
Okay,
so at
give
this
me a
point
human
he's
roll, see if you
he's
can
on
knock
the
them
sled
out.
and I'm just out in front pulling it. Pure athleticism and adrenaline is taking over.
5.
You got a 5? All right.
Yep.
So you throw some of these letters, and you've got good momentum with Nick pulling the sled, and so you're actually able to throw them under the feet of one of these runners. So Brad from R&D, and he just slips and falls and cracks his head on the ice, and he is trampled by everyone who is running after him.
Nice roll, Colin.
Stuck it.
The smell of blood in the air is getting thicker and thicker.
I'm strangely getting into this now, and I'm like, my resentment for the. I've actually got a chance to lash out at people, and all of a sudden I'm like, I've got weapons.
your
As strange as
ladders.
they
Yeah,
are.
I'm quite loving the chariot race. Like I was almost into the Gauntlet, but now with this chariot race seems like even more fun. Like youth throwing these things at them. I'm like, oh yes, this is great.
Yeah, I'll be Charlton Heston. You can be the horse.
I'm a reindeer.
So you just keep running. Janice, you're headed off behind them. Gary, you were running towards the woods, trying to get away from all of this.
Mhm.
You hear this howling sound from the trees around you as you run and run. You can still hear the loud laughter and the screams from behind you, these people all running to wherever it is they're running. And then there's the heavy scent of blood in the air, and an animal stench overwhelms your nostrils. And you see in front of you, stepping out from behind a tree, is this massive figure with huge antlers sticking out, but with a human face and multiple arms, almost as if it's reaching out from between the trees. It says, "You've been naughty," and it's going to reach for you. And shall we take a break there?
Nice. Yes.
Good to start. We still waiting on something?
No, wait. Well, I don't know if are we waiting on you, Rena, or are we waiting on Chris?
Oh, I'm usually
Okay.
I'm used to cues, so
Oh, sorry,
like a no worries.
That's because you're used to
Just-
professionals. This is RX Oliver and friends. We're a bunch of assholes that have fun and play together. We're not professional streamers. We just happen to be on the stream.
Yeah, what's this
Okay.
professional stuff? That's people start expecting that all the time. Don't want to start that nonsense.
I've only been doing it 3-4 years now. Don't expect me to be skilled and know what I'm doing. Come on now. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead, Rina, when you're ready, mate.
Okay.
Leaving all that in.
Sorry
That's
for
not
the
getting
awkward
edited.
pauses.
No, that's not getting edited out. That's all staying in. People can see that.
Yep. Okay, so Gary was facing down a monstrous creature with red eyes and multiple hands and skeletal reindeer antlers. So we'll come back to you in a bit, Gary, because we need to deal with other people. So, Janice, you were running after Patty threatened you, essentially, and you tried to deck her, and it didn't go super well.
Yeah. Where is Jared's body in proximity to me?
It's not that far ahead of you. It's still laying there on the ice with blood everywhere and this massive gash in his back.
Okay, because once I get to him, I'm gonna, like, try and, belly slide on his body, use him kind of as a sled. So, you know, I still have him close to me. I'm just gonna be like, I hate you, Patty!
So I think I'm gonna require an insight roll to use your friendly co-worker's dead body as a sled.
Fair enough,
Through
3.
the snow on your dead co-worker's corpse. Oh, what the hell's we go?
What the fuck
So
is
I'm
this?
matching it so I don't gain any.
Okay, so you're able to do this. You swallow your revulsion because all you want to do at this point is survive, and you take off sledding in that direction. So the lads who are in their own sled, soon you see Janice pretty close to you, still slightly behind you, but fairly close, sledding down on a dead person's body.
Did you
Just
close his mouth?
I was gonna say, wait, I want to ask, is the body face down or face up?
face down.
Oh, so she's grinding its chin down.
No, but if
And
he's
there's-
got his mouth open, then he's going to be gathering the snow. It's going to slow her down. So aerodynamics. So
is,
she didn't
is,
close
is
his
the
mouth
mouth
first.
open?
Well,
Is he
that's
snow
no-
plowing?
In fact, I want to roll for that. Let's have a go. Let's have
Okay.
a
Plow.
crack at
Let's
this.
make her make a
Give-
snowplow roll.
Yeah.
Give me a human roll, and you can roll against her to fail if you would like to.
Yep. I want his mouth to be open. I want him to gather enough snow so that it comes to a stall, and then the whole corpse just goes blip. I got a 5. Does that work?
How'd you do, Janice?
I got a 6.
Nice try, Colin. That's the
So-
first time I've seen somebody use the failure roll in this game, and it was for a
Can
great
I
reason.
use my profession roll, though, too? If it's contested?
You know
Well,
what?
you rolled a 6, so you won. It's just
Okay,
something horrible is going to happen at the same time. So you are sliding down the ice. Everyone else is pulling ahead. You sort of guide the skull with your knees, and dodge around these snowy areas where the snow is starting to pick up so that he doesn't slow you down. And as you're sledding down, there's a pat on your knee, and you see that Jared's forearm has twisted all the way around and is patting you on the knee, and you hear a muffled, "Very creative, Janice. Wouldn't have thought of that myself."
Sweet, and I gained another point.
So
I'm at
you
4.
roll insight.
Yeah, I'm at 4.
Okay, so you're up to 4. As Jared's dead body is congratulating you on your creativity.
Oh my god, thank you so much, Jared.
You got this. I'm rooting for you since I'm out of the running. Except now I'm in the
Wah, wah,
sledding.
wah.
Ha ha ha.
Out at the running bit and at the cool runnings.
Mhm. I understood that reference. So, the two of you see Janice coming up fairly close, sledding on this dead body. Or at least you hope it's a dead body. It's hard to tell with everything else going on. But everyone else is running. And you see up ahead of you that Lindsay appears to have been impaled on a tree branch. Just this massive branch is sticking out of her chest, and she's hanging limply there. But as you sled past, she gives you a thumbs up as her dead eyes roll to look at you.
Ugh.
I'm beyond care at this point. I'm just like,
Mhm.
get the
Yeah,
hell out of this.
unless you're asking me to make an insight roll, I'm ignoring
Nope.
it and put my head back down, and I'm Rudolph, and I am getting this sled out of here.
I want to empty a sack.
Mm-hmm.
Last few letters, because then I want to use a sack for something.
Okay. So you empty the letters
Well,
onto
I'm
the
still
path,
throwing
or
them.
what was that? Sorry.
I'm throwing the letters. I'm still using them as frisbees.
Okay.
You know,
You're still
at
throwing
people,
them.
but I want I'm doing it rapidly so I can empty a sack because I'm still using them
Okay.
as weapons.
All right. So
If
you're
there's
still
people ahead of us, I'm winging them at them.
throwing them, knocking some people over, making
Yeah.
some people slip. People behind you are slipping as you throw them backwards. You're thinning the herd. There's still plenty of people who are rushing ahead of you. They left before you did, even with your sled going. But you are thinning the herd. We're now down to about 30 people, all told, in this group. So you keep going as you start to hear the sound of what is that? Bells ringing in the clear, frosty air.
See if we're fighting Santa Claus.
I'm not waiting to see what Santa Claus looks like in this situation. I'm not
Yeah.
even looking. I'm pretending I didn't hear it. I am just head down. I am running. I don't even know where I'm going, but I am running away from everything. And it's all in my head. It's just a fucked up dream or something. I don't know. I should have took that whole bag of cocaine before I came to the works party. Fuck me.
Your tears are turning to ice
Oh god.
as your eyes water and your face is freezing. You're not particularly dressed for this. Those who are wearing sweaters are a little bit warmer, more warmly insulated against the cold. Maybe you're starting to realize why people were suggested to wear ugly sweaters for this holiday party, if this was always going to be the end goal. But you keep going past the corpses, past the broken skulls. There's icicles that come shooting up out of the ice every so often, and so I would like a roll from both of you. Colin for steering the sled and you for running, Nick, to see if you can avoid some of these icicles that come shooting up at you.
I got 3.
Okay?
But I just steer you in the right direction.
Yeah.
And
How'd you do?
Hold on. I got a 6. That means
Oh, so bad things are going to happen.
yep.
You succeed, but
Okay.
I succeed, but
You
That's
succeed,
not-
but
that's not succeed.
so with the 6, you manage to steer Nick as well so that he can avoid some of these icicles. But as you're wending your way around, all of these icicles start whispering things to you. And you hear voices of people you know, you hear people from your past, you hear your mother, you hear your siblings, your partner. It's this massive cacophony of voices in the ice telling you everything you've ever done wrong in your entire life, calling you a failure, saying you're never going to make it, you're not going to get to the end, you've never been able to finish anything in your life. Why would you be able to do that now? And just this cacophony that only you can hear fills your head and starts to cloud your vision as all these icicles are popping up and more of them are whispering and talking and chattering over each other.
oh,
So I'll
shut
take
up,
that.
shut up, shut up. I'm just getting this so I can quit, you crazy bastards.
What are you doing?
Of course
back
you're
there,
gonna
Maybe
bud?
quit.
I'll do something in my life
Oh,
if you
you-
leave me alone.
All you do is quit. All you do is quit. Of course you're gonna quit. Of course you're gonna leave. You're a failure. All you do is fail. So give me that insight roll.
Who the fuck are you
I don't
talking
know,
about?
4.
Keep throwing.
Okay?
Is that me up to 4 now?
Yep.
That was
That's
one.
you up to 4.
Bup, bup,
So
bup,
you
bup,
are
bup, the meter's
panicking.
going up. I'm talking in next year a bit.
Mhm.
I get home.
You hear Bert muttering to himself and saying "shut up," and he seems to be very agitated. Nick, from behind you.
Who are you talking to? Bert, shut up and keep throwing those letters, man. We gotta get out of here.
So we'll leave the two of you there for a moment. Mhm.
Shut up.
We'll leave the two of you there for the moment with the voices getting louder and louder in your head, Bert.
Lovely.
So, Gary, you have come face to face with a horror beyond your comprehension. I'd like an insight roll from you as this thing stares down at you.
Okay.
Nice.
2.
All right, so you are somehow okay with this at the moment because at least you're away from the screaming hordes. And it looks down at you and it says, "What do you want most?"
To get the hell out of here.
Is that all you want in the long term? All you want is to escape? Really? That's all you want?
I'd also like to not be scared of every fucking thing anymore, but to get out of here is pretty much the only thing that I can think of right now.
Out of here? Out of the company?
I don't really know. I just weep and weep and weep.
You could run the IT department. You could be in charge. You could be respected. You could be not the intern anymore. You could be someone people knows their name and respects you. Doesn't tell you off all the time. Your mother might even respect you then, Gary. Your brother would never flush your head in the toilet again.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. How could I do that?
Will you give us your soul?
Well, I don't really think it's worth that much, so
You will be
probably.
part of us forever.
I think I'm as scared of that as I am scared of everything else. I don't know what us means.
The company.
I and you think that would mean I wouldn't be scared anymore?
No need to be scared when you are eternal.
Well, I guess I could then.
And the thing pulls out a sack of toys. It looks like you can see there's these little reindeer. There's a Monopoly set, weirdly, except it looks like the angles of the box are slightly odd. It's hard for your brain to make sense of it. And the creature reaches in and shuffles around and pulls out a key and places it in your hand. Take the key to the office, and everyone will respect you. You will become part of us. You will be eternal like us. You will be joined to us in the company.
I guess I can do that.
Oh, we are sure you can. And you see shadows flickering behind this thing. There's multiple shadows, and they're all rising up. It's weirdly almost like they're climbing up a backdrop because they stretch out and then they angle upward, like they're projected onto a wall. And there's shadow after shadow after shadow. Go. And the skeletal finger points.
I clutch the key and I run like a mad thing as fast as I can in the direction that they've pointed.
And you do feel a bit different, Gary, as you're clutching this key. It's warm in your hand. It makes you feel more empowered somehow. Like, not physically super powered or anything, but it makes you feel calmer in your brain. It makes you feel like, yes, I can do this. I can be part of the family. I can be part of this corporation. People will respect me. You feel these thoughts flooding into your mind as you clutch onto this key.
I grab a hold of it even tighter, and the feeling of running through me just drives me to run faster and faster.
You imagine what it would be like for your parents to be proud of you. You imagine what it would be like to one-up your brother. You imagine people knowing your name instead of just giving you their coffee orders when you come into the office every morning. You imagine belonging to something for the first time in your life, and it gives you power as you push forward. So, meanwhile, further up ahead of you, lads, someone comes running up behind you and is going to attempt to tip your cart over. You see...
I take a sack over their head.
Excellent. So, give me that roll. I'm going to roll against you.
Nail this. You can do it.
It sucked.
Oh.
2.
Gonna put over my own head.
You got a 2. You can push the roll if you would like to. You can add your insight die. Just if your insight die is the highest, bad things happen.
Okay, so was that 3d6?
2d6.
2d6.
Go on, Colin, get that sack over his head.
Sack him.
A 1 and a 5.
Okay, I also rolled a 5. So, is the 5 on...
Stop struggling!
I believe the 5 was your highest.
Yep.
On your 5 was on your second die, so that would be your insight. Okay. So you go to throw the bag over this person's head. You don't really know who they are. You've dropped mail on their desk before. You think maybe his name is Philip? Maybe. You're not sure. But you throw the bag over his head, and he reaches up with these extra long hands, triple, quadruple jointed fingers, and these long nails, and he starts ripping the bag away. And as he's ripping the bag away, you see him peeling his skin off of his face, and he is grinning at you the entire time, just making eye contact with you specifically. The makeshift sled is still moving down the ice, and he is keeping pace with you, peeling his skin off, until there is nothing left but blood and muscle and these 2 grinning eyes staring at you. Give me that insight roll. God, I love this game.
Got a 2.
Nice.
Okay. You're hanging on there.
So I just take one of the letters and I slap him over the face with it, like out of the basket because nobody else tries. Right, that was the sack, but there's a wee tiny basket, so just one letter and just slap him in the face. Get you weirdo, freak!
You knock him back slightly. He doesn't seem to mind this cold, brittle envelope against his now skinless face. He just keeps grinning at you and saying, "You can't do it. You're not the right material. You can't do it. And he seems to be joining the voices that are still echoing at you from these icicles as whoosh, another one shoots up in front of you and you barely manage to move around it.
You know what, you bastards? I'm gonna do it just to spite yous. Let's go, Nick. We're gonna smash this thing, these corporate weirdos. Freaking these places get worse every year.
Someone's going to attack you, Nick. Someone comes careening up along the ice and is going to try and knock you over while Bert is dealing with Phil.
Okay, so do I roll
So-
against it? Is it opposed?
Yep.
Make a human roll.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have my career on it, right?
Nope, because your career is not running.
Got
Wish
a
with some
5.
stamps. I'd be sticking stamps to people
Mhm.
as well if I had some in the basket, but we don't.
I also got a 5.
Cool.
So you both miss. You're running around, sliding around. You start slipping on the ice, but the good thing is that whoever's trying to attack you also starts slipping. So he doesn't manage to connect with you, but you're also starting to lose your footing.
Shit.
Mm-hmm.
Try to right myself as best I can.
Okay, give me a roll.
Okay, human roll, 1d6. Let's go 5.
5, okay. So you manage to regain your footing, and the sled kind of knocks this person over backwards. They don't hit their head or anything, but they are
Bonus.
slowed down temporarily as you keep going. Sliding along close to you is Janice on Jared's undead body. And Janice, I need you to make a roll as an icicle suddenly starts shooting up right beneath you.
Oof.
Okay. I would like to, as a receptionist,
Uh-huh.
dig my
This should be
foot-long
good.
nails that I clicky clack on my keyboard all day into the ice like a
Uh-huh.
bobsledder to kind of get more momentum. And I'm gonna dig my heels into Jared's armpit and like lay back like a bobsledder and like hold his arms so his like chest kind of comes up like a
Mhm.
real
The
sleigh.
curve on it.
Yep. So if I do at least hit some of the ice, hopefully I like bounce off a little bit.
Okay, so I think that's cool. So I'll let you roll your 2d6. You're gonna need to beat a 6.
It's a 6 total.
No.
Yeah, I got a 4.
I
and a
tried that.
2.
Mhm. You got a 4 and a 2. Okay, you can push the roll if you would like to. You get to roll 3d6, but there's potential for terrible things to happen.
Let's go for it. 3d6.
Yes, come on.
I got a 1, a 5, and a 5.
Okay, so still doesn't beat the 6.
I love
So
the way
you-
Rina keeps trying to tell us that like it's a bad thing. Oh, terrible things are going to happen. We're like, bring it on.
Aye, bring on the terrible things. Let's go.
Mhm. So you go, and because it's a pushed roll, it's going to be worse. So you go sliding down, and all of a sudden you hear a loud crack, and this icicle starts pulling up in front of you, but you're not able to react in time to steer Jared's dead body around it. And the icicle comes pushing up through his stomach, and it impales you through the leg.
Ooh.
Brody, whoever you are, please.
Says Jared. Oh, that's bad.
Oh
Do
my
you know
God,
you can
Jared,
still hurt when you die?
I didn't know. I'm so sorry, Jared.
Don't worry. I'm sure you can still limp to victory.
I'll do it for you.
So you can pull your leg very gently off of this icicle and start limping along the ice, but it is going to be harder for you. And you may end up with more people scenting blood in the water like sharks and coming after you. We'll see. Maybe it's fine. Maybe you'll be totally okay. But Gary, you come running up behind afterwards. You see Bert and Nick in their improvised sled. You see Janice get partially impaled by an icicle and then start limping off. And there's now only about 28 people running through here. and you run to catch up with them. And then as you do, everything suddenly gets very dark. Very dark. It's not like night suddenly fell over this crisp winter morning. It's like you are suddenly encapsulated by a void. And you all hear around you, you hear the other people ahead of you yelling, "Almost there! Second round, guys!" And then you hear a scream as someone perhaps gets murdered. Hard to tell. Very hard to tell around here, but there's definitely a scream out of the dark. And you are trying to maneuver your way around without being able to see, and you realize you're no longer on ice. It feels like gravel beneath your feet, or beneath your cartwheels, Bert.
Oh, that's going to make us like.
Yeah, no, I dropped the
Yep.
dart as soon as we hit gravel. I'm like, shit! I probably fall on my face actually when I hit the gravel.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, you're suddenly off the ice and onto the gravel, and it hurts you, Janice, this sudden limping onto the gravel, because you had a smooth surface, at least, even if it was a bit slippery, and now you're on uneven ground, and your leg is killing you. And Gary, you've slipped and slid into gravel as well. Whether or not you fall is up to you, but you are suddenly on very, very different territory in the dark.
I doubt I have any skill to stop that from happening, so yeah, I fall into the gravel.
All right, you fall, scratch up your face a bit. Bert, you're okay because you're in the cart, but you're still going until the cart slows to a stop. And
However,
Mhm.
could I wanna change it a little bit.
Okay.
Because of Gary's newfound confidence, falling to the ground into the gravel reminds him of his old pitiful self, and that enrages him, causing him to bounce back to his feet as quickly as possible because he
Do a
doesn't
roll.
want to feel that way. Or do a roll.
Just on
You
roll.
can do a roll for that if you would like to. Yep.
Do like
Okay.
Straight
And
back
I
up.
won't roll to
Just-
fail against you on this one.
3.
3. Okay. So it's not quite as graceful as you would like it to be, but you do manage to stop from face planting. You just fall on your knees. And then you manage to pull yourself up, but it's not graceful, elegant, or heroic by any stretch of the imagination. At least no one could see it. There's that.
But it's not embarrassing like what it normally would be.
That's true. It is not embarrassing. So, as you are all moving your way through this gravel in the dark, it gets very quiet again. You can hear people ahead of you crunching on the gravel. There's a couple people behind you who've fallen behind in this whole big race kind of thing. And then all of you start to hear whispering, and you see these glowing little red eyes in the dark. Just the eyes. You can't make out anything else. And then voices start to speak inside your head. And I'd like to know from each of you in turn, what is the worst thing you've ever done?
Okay.
Please, no essay. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I subscribe to Gary's mum's OnlyFans and sent her money. I've got loads of pictures of her on my phone.
Love that.
I hit a person with my car and didn't stop to check if they were okay.
Hit and run.
I left my mother in the hospital. She was seriously ill and didn't go to pick her up because I just couldn't be bothered.
Gary took the last cupcake and didn't tell anyone.
Last cupcake from the break room.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
You bastard.
You bastard.
In his mind. Yeah. In his mind, that's a horrible, terrible thing to have done. You all start getting whispers in your minds of, how could you? How could you? You knew better. You knew better. Why did you do that? And Bert, you hear, she missed you. She missed you. You should have been there. But you just couldn't be bothered. Like anything else in your life, you just can't be bothered. Your own mum. How could you? How could you? How could you?
Why does everybody always want things from you? Like, just leave it be.
And Janice, you hear a, you know what you did. That was wrong. You left me. Let me die. How could you?
I mean, maybe he's probably like Jared, like living again.
Don't live again outside the office. I wasn't from Langcor and you hit me with your car and you left me to die.
You're spiritually reborn.
Gary, you hear a, those weren't meant for you. You know better. Chad was having a horrible day. He just lost his dad, and the cupcakes that were brought in were going to be his only source of joy that day. And you took it and you didn't replace it, and you knew you'd already had 2 of them, you bastard.
I'm a terrible guy.
That's pure evil.
How could you?
This game's just got intense. Now it's getting real.
Oh, you scumbag.
Nick.
You can just see the comments underneath this video. Gary's such a ballbag.
Gary's the worst. Gary is
Gary,
the absolute
how
worst.
could you?
What a
Gary, how could
glutton.
you? Nick, you get this voice in your head saying, you know the harm you're doing. If Gary ever found out. How could you do that to his mum?
He'll never find out. I know it would break his heart. That's why I know he would never find out. It's not my
But
fault.
what if he does?
He'll never find out. It won't be.
He
It won't
doesn't
be my
know.
fault if he does. It would be hers.
Are you shaming sex workers? You bastard.
I would never do that to Gary. Gary, that poor little nerd asshole, his life would be over. I would never do that to him. I like Gary. He's about the only kid in here I like. He's a good kid. Gets me good coffee.
He is a good kid. And you're going behind his back. And if he ever finds out, and he might find out, you never know what's going to happen here in the corporation. It'll break his heart. And it'll be your fault.
No. I'm getting out of this place. I'm never gonna be back here again. And Gary's gonna get out too. No, shut up.
And I'd like you all to make insight rolls as you hear these voices telling you how shitty you are.
A 3. I am good.
Okay?
Oh no.
Okay.
Do you know when you're just like on the edge of the cliff and you're
Mhm.
staring over? That's me right now. I'm just one dice roll away from this all going tits up.
So you hit 5.
No, I'm on 4 right now. Just waiting for that
Okay.
final dice roll.
What are you up to now, Chris?
I am on 3.
Okay. So you've gone up to 4.
Yeah,
How'd you
you're
do
on
there, Janice?
I'm sitting pretty and maintaining my little sanity.
Okay. What little there is to have for Janice from reception. You hear these whispers, these voices coming from these little red eyes all surrounding you. And you start to see moving out of the darkness these little gnomes, tiny, squat figures, all moving towards you, and they're all chanting. You can only hear your own misdeeds in your own heads. The rest of you can't hear what's being said to everyone else, but it's getting louder, and they're moving to surround you in a circle. Got little pointy red hats.
They're like garden
squat
gnomes,
but Christmassy.
I'm going to get ready to run up and toe punt one. Like, it's the only thing I can think of is just run up and kick one and try and run through the circle.
Need I remind you of what happens if you try to fight the mythos?
Yeah, maybe jump over them. I don't know. How else am I going to break the circle? The little gnome, yeah, I could jump over them.
Mhm.
I'm going to try and jump over them. Fuck this circle of gnomes. I'm getting out of here.
Okay. You're not management material. You hear as you try to jump over them. Give me a
Fuck
roll.
this company.
Fuck this company.
I rolled a 1.
Oh my god. Would you like to push the roll?
Yes, definitely. So that's 2d6, right?
Yep.
A 3 and a 4.
Okay. I rolled a 5 for you to fail.
Oh, come on. And the 4 would
It's
be on
fun.
my insight, so my insight goes up to 4.
Okay. You're doing very not great at the moment.
No.
As these gnomes are advancing on you. They've got these incongruous pointy red hats with these squat little faces and these big beards, and they're wearing what looks like elf sweaters, as if they had just come from Santa's workshop. And with that insight going up, you hear, "Hey Gary, guess what Nick does? Guess what, Gary?"
No. No.
And you suddenly hear from these little gnomes that are starting to surround you, "Hey, your mom has an OnlyFans, and Nick subscribes to it, and he didn't tell you because he knew it would hurt you. He knew, and he did it anyway."
I'm sorry,
He's on it.
Gary.
Oh, are there different? Is it like tiers or what? Like what do you call it? Patreon?
I wouldn't know, mate. I
I
wouldn't
don't
know. I've
know.
never been on the
I
website
don't
myself.
think so.
I've got no idea.
I don't think there's tears, mate.
He went for the what is it? The like top bonus package or something? He went for the special package.
Yeah, I'm like top fan, like pure
He's not
donations
to
and that.
subscribe. He went for the where
He
you
is the only
He's
fan.
number one.
I
He
die,
is
I'm
the
her
only
only
fan.
fan, yeah.
she knows his name.
Mhm.
Yeah, she sent me used
Gary.
underwear in the mail.
Gary.
Gary's sudden change of persona due to wielding the key barrels him with rage. He's done taking shit, so he just grabs a hold of Nick, who he thought was his only friend, and thrusts him towards the gnomes.
Can I make a roll to oppose it?
Yes, you can make a contested roll.
Thanks. I got a 1. Only 1.
I
And he's
got
got a
6.
6.
You got a 6. Okay. So here's the thing. Unless Nick is contesting this roll with a pushed roll, which you can do, but you'd have to roll a 6, which makes things even worse.
I think I have to the way.
Okay.
2d6, yeah?
2d6.
A 4 and a 1, so no, I don't do any
Mhm.
better.
You get shoved suddenly by a very angry Gary, and you've never seen Gary like this before. He seems more confident somehow. He's looking you in the eyes. He's never done that before. He seems angry, really angry. And he shoves you towards the gnomes.
I'm sorry,
And
Gary.
Gary, your insight comes from seeing all of these gnomes look at you and smile. And you see these deep, deep smiles running across their faces, and they all jump on Nick. and you see sharp little knives coming out of their little gnome fingers as they're jumping onto Nick. So you're going to make me an insight roll. Gary.
4?
Okay, so you stay at 4. You're fine with this because, as far as you're concerned, Nick betrayed you. So,
Don't
shit.
look at my mama's boobs.
so Nick, you've been shoved into a pack of gnomes who are starting to slice at you with their knives. Little knives coming out of their little fingers. I will give you a chance to escape.
I will try to escape. Thanks. Okay. Give me
I
a
feel a
6.
strange
I'm gonna
sense of
contest
loyalty
that.
to Nick, because obviously he's helped me out, and I still have my trolley. Because you didn't say I lost it, it just got a bit bumpy.
Nope,
So I actually just ram the trolley through the gnomes.
You're
to
going
make
to
it-
fight them?
Well, I'm gonna try and push through, but the
Okay, you're
trolley's
trying
gonna
to
fight
knock
them.
them
I'm
out of the
not.
way?
I'm just
Okay.
behind the trolley.
You're going to try and knock them out of the way. How did you do on your roll there, Nick?
I got a 6.
Oh my god. Okay, so you are terrified by all these dozens of little gnomes. It's kind of Lilliputian almost, like Gulliver's
Yeah.
Travels, where they've knocked you over, they're climbing all over you, and they start cutting into you. You've got cuts now running all over your face, your chest. It's so cold still, even though it's not icy anymore, and you feel your blood leaking out. And you are able to sit up and run, partially because all of a sudden the trolley comes running in. I will say, if you're going to push this trolley in, you're going to lose the trolley.
That's fine. At least
Okay.
Get
So
up.
you push the trolley, the gnomes scatter, you're able to pull yourself up, but you're going to make me an insight roll as they all turn to look at you before they scamper away, and they've got this same hideous grin, and they're all holding up their little knives as if this is not the end.
You want me to make an insight roll?
Yep, because you rolled a 6.
4. I'm good.
Okay, you're holding on, you're still alive. You're alive, you've got this.
Maybe just about.
Come on, Nick, run! Let's get the hell out of this. Get this finished.
Get the fuck out of here, Bart.
Janice, someone attacks you from behind you. You suddenly feel a hand grab your shoulder, and someone is going to attempt to stab you. Contested roll here.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let that happen.
I would hope not.
It's a
Oh.
1. I'm gonna let that happen.
You're gonna let that happen?
No, push
I
it.
mean, it's a 1, and
You
I
can
don't.
push it.
If I push
You
it
can push it.
though, like. Oh my god.
Push it.
Okay.
They're stabbing
Oh,
you.
shit.
They're stabbing
Push
you.
it.
You've got to push it. You're dead if you don't.
Rock. Hard
Yes,
face.
there you go.
There you go.
I got a 6 and a 5, so.
Okay. So your insight goes up. What are you at now? You're at 5. Okay. So, first off, you manage to dodge out of the way as you push the hand off you, and you hear the whistle of a blade cutting through the dark air. You can't see anything, but these cold, hard eyes, and you realize Pam just tried to stab you. And you see now that ugly pug sweater, its eyes are now glowing as well, and you can see the blood pouring down it. So, when you hit 5 insight, in order to try and maintain your sanity, you can attempt to reduce your insanity by destroying evidence. If you are successful in destroying it, you can roll your insight die, and if it's below, then you go back down to 4.
Okay.
So, you can attempt to destroy the things that are breaking your mind. You don't have to. You can attempt it later, or you can just not attempt it at all, but it is a possibility.
So I destroy Patty.
Okay?
I
So
try to
you
stab
jump
her.
on Patty. Alright, so you are pummeling her, essentially, so... Yeah. Give me a roll. Human roll. No, you cannot use your receptionist die here, because I'm pretty sure beating people to death does not count as general receptionist work.
With the 6.
It's a 6.
Okay. So... You beat Patty's skull in, and you've got blood and brain matter all over you. All over you. And you are coated with her blood, and you can taste a bit of flesh as it flies into your open mouth. And your insight is going to stay at 5 because you have destroyed the evidence, but you rolled a 6. So you're not going to roll insight again, but you are going to stay at 5. That's how I'm going to rule that. Sound fair?
Okay. And it's
Yeah.
dark. Nobody saw me do this.
It's dark. Nobody saw you do it. You hear a bit of a groan, and that's about it. So it is dark.
Oh no, Patty!
And then you hear that. What do you all do?
Are there any gnomes around me?
Well, with the gnomes scattered, I'm trying to run away from them.
All right, the gnomes have scattered. They were not around you, Janice, because they were all attempting to go after Nick, because he failed his role so spectacularly. So there's no gnomes around you. It is still dark, but you can hear people up ahead of you. You can hear some yelling. There's a couple screams. There's some laughter.
I'm gonna take the knife that Patty had, and I'm just gonna
Excellent
go
idea.
slowly towards the noise.
Okay. Nick, you're running. Gary?
Can I converse with the gnomes?
Sure. Absolutely.
Can I tell the
We good.
Can I tell the gnomes that I have a mission to get to the office, and Nick is in the way, and we need to stop him?
I'm gonna oppose that.
You're running away. You're running away.
Oh
You're
yeah,
going
but I
everywhere.
need to roll something to make you fail that roll, though. Like,
you can it's not in this case. It wouldn't be an opposed roll. It would be him rolling a failure die.
Yeah, so I
Remember,
wanna-
failure dies. Yeah.
yeah, I want him to
Aren't the-
fail.
aren't
So
the
like, somebody's been murdered, and a chunk of their flesh comes flying through there and lands in his mouth. That's how he fails if I beat him on this roll.
Okay.
He can't talk.
So you're attempting to talk to the gnomes. First, I want you to give me the speech you give them. Put you on the spot.
Hey, gnomes. Do you see this key? This has given me the bravery to fight for what I believe in. And I'm telling you that that man is a bastard that you were looking to get. I think that he needs to get got, and I think we should work together. I have a plan where we can use the trolley that stopped you to screw those guys over.
I love it when we get to PvP. Okay, so give me that roll, and then Nick.
I rolled the
you
6.
can.
Yeah, he's already rolled a 6.
I mean, you can roll and see if you roll a 6.
I rolled 5.
All right. So, and you can't push fail dice. So,
Okay.
yeah, because it's not your character, right? It's the player. So, with your 6, the gnomes all turn it and look at you with their big bright red eyes. They look at the key and they go, "Ooh, management potential, management potential," and then they just all start chanting management potential. And then they all go running after Nick. A couple of them start pushing the cart along the gravel, so you just see them moving the wheels through the slight glow that seems to be around them, and they're gonna come running after you.
Somebody make helicopter noises and we go, management potential, management potential, management potential. I love that smell of trolleys and gnomes in the morning.
I also like to think that Gary is like really proud of himself leading these elves, so he stood on the sleigh and like holding the key like a guiding spear in the battle.
So you are actively attempting murder, so that's where your insight roll is going to come in because you rolled a 6. So give me that insight roll, as you are actively attempting to murder people who you thought were
5.
friends. 5. Okay, so you're up to 5 now. And the gnomes come a running. So you can hear, Nick, these little feet scampering after you, and you hear a management potential just being chanted behind you, and what sounds like the flight of the Valkyries rising in the distance.
Management potential. I'm
Yep.
running away
So-
from it. Like I've absolutely just took some bad drugs or something. I do not believe that this is happening. I've just got to run away from it, and I'll sober up again properly when it, eventually. I'm just getting away from these horrific sights, whatever this bullshit is. It's not real. I'm out of here. I'm running.
All right. So I'd like you to make a roll to see if you're going to survive this.
Okay. Come on. 4.
All right. So you're going to survive. You are with a 4. You are, unless someone's rolling against you. You are going to get. Chris.
I want to
Okay.
roll against that.
No doubt it does.
It's
Ah.
on.
So you get slashed up a bit. Your calves get cut. There's blood pooling out of you now. But you're outpacing the gnomes somehow. Somehow you are outpacing the gnomes, who are all chanting management potential. And so, Gary, the cart rolls to a stop with you standing atop of it, pointing ahead, and the gnomes are all gathered around you, chanting management potential as if this is a cult and you are the new cult leader. And they are going to start pushing the cart with you on it, but they're moving in a different direction. They're not going straight ahead. They're moving off towards the right, it feels like, and you can see a green glow up ahead.
Oh, someone's found the cheat code.
The gnome code.
So
Or
it's
the cheat,
almost
the
like
cheat gnome.
it's
You know when
almost
you're,
like
you're doing Mario Kart and you find that second
The little
little
secret
side.
road, yeah.
I was thinking more like the trolleys like reached 88 miles an hour and it's like turned into a DeLorean.
You're going
The
back
flux
in time.
capacitor is activated.
It's charged by 88 gnomes.
It reached 88 gnome power.
88 gnomes an hour.
And a sudden flash of lightning that just comes out of nowhere and strikes your cart. Yeah, that's the... So, Janice, you can't see really anything, but you stagger up from the body of Patty, who you've just beaten to a pulp. Your eyes are wild, you are covered in blood and brain, and up ahead of you, you hear the chant of management potential, and then all of a sudden it gets quieter and quieter as it appears to go off to the side.
I feel like I want to follow that because that sounds different than the chaos that has been going on. And it sounds
Excellent.
more positive.
Sounds positive. All right, so you can head off in that direction. Give me a roll to see how well you follow the noise.
Oh my god, they're totally calling to me. I know it. I got a 5.
5. Excellent. So you are able to follow the chants. There are a lot of them chanting. There's a couple dozen of these little voices at least. And Gary, are you joining in with the chant? This is what inquiring minds want to know.
I don't think so. No, I think I'm just enjoying it and kind of like using the key now as a baton.
Conductor's baton.
I love that. So you are conducting the chant, and so you can hear the chanting, Janice, but there's also this slight greenish glow that you start to see, and that helps draw you along. And you can see this cart with Gary standing on it, conducting the chants, it sounds like. And as you move in that direction, this skeletal figure steps out in front of you. You can see it silhouetted in the green glow. You
If
see
there's any artists, when this goes online, if there's any artists in the chat, you need to do a picture of this.
Oh yeah.
This needs to be
Imagine.
drawn. Any artists,
I would
you
love
need
to
to
see
draw
it.
this.
Hmm.
It'd be
You
the
see
most
this-
epic thing ever.
Skeletal figure with these massive reindeer antlers and multiple arms and carrying a giant bag over its shoulder, looks at you and says, I don't know if your management potential. What do you want? What do you deeply, truly want?
I feel like I totally heard somebody calling out to me saying management potential, so I don't
Well,
know.
you're gonna, as you say that, you're gonna roll insight for seeing this mythos creature.
It's a 1.
Check it.
You are totally okay with this. This is fine.
Can't break
Absolutely
me.
fine. Yep. You are laser focused on getting out of here. And the thing looks at you and goes, What is it you deeply, truly want in your inner soul? Not just getting out of here, Janice, from reception. What do you want more than anything?
I mean, I think I'd like to be like an influencer, you know, like maybe vlog a little bit. I feel like I've got a great sense of fashion, so maybe something along those lines.
You could be head of media for the company, make your TikToks and your Instagram videos. You could be the face of the company in the media division.
I'm listening.
You could be with us forever. Job security.
Will you be replacing Michaela? Because I know she's not going to be able to carry coffee in for me anymore without her hand.
Will be new hires for the ones who did not make the cut, or who were cut in this case.
I see what you did there. Yeah, I think I'm in. You can count me in.
And it reaches into its bag and pulls out a key and hands it to you and says, "Take this to the CEO's office."
I definitely know where that is, but things have changed a little bit, so...
You will find it if you
okay.
make it out.
Right,
And
okay.
you can head off following the chanting gnomes and Gary, who's waving a key
Management
similar
potential.
to... That's going to be stuck in my head for so long now, guys.
Me too.
It's all part of the service.
And you know what makes it worse? As soon as you hear them like minions, like saying it, it's even worse. Now that's stuck in your head.
No, I was
no.
thinking the aliens out of Toy Story.
Oh yeah, the little green guys. The,
Yes.
the 3 eye guys,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
The
Yes.
claw,
Yes.
claw,
We are
claw,
eternally
those guys.
Your management potential.
my
Management
claw.
potential.
I need to get a Christmas sweater made for next year that just says management potential on it. No one else will get the reference, but it'll be
An
hilarious.
in-joke for the 5 of us, it'll be absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And
how cool would it
whoever watched the stream.
get that right? Talented people out there, get that drawn. Do we get it on a shirt?
There we go.
There we go.
Pronto.
Management potential with that image.
Perfect.
Might
So,
well be
Janice, you head off in that direction towards the green glow, following the gnomes and Gary, and you realize Gary has a similar key to what you have. So, what are the other two of you doing? You don't hear the chanting from behind you anymore, which makes you think maybe the gnome danger is over. Oh god, now I've got Highway to the Danger Gnome in my head.
Way to
Danger
the
Gnome!
Danger Gnome.
Gnome!
Danger Gnome. So, what are you?
Highway to
Oh, broke a
the
GM.
Danger
Result.
Gnome.
So many 80s references, like, you know, Back to the Future.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Just got
getting
that whole
bad.
vibe to it, doesn't it? It's
Mm.
you know what it is. It's the whole yuppie corporate thing, just
Yeah.
bringing to mind the madness.
I think
This
I'm
could
just trying to
actually-
run. I think I'm going to
See-
continue in the same direction that was away from the gnomes, and I'm hoping
Yeah.
Bert's coming with me because I want someone
Are we
else to
hearing the
get in here.
noises up ahead?
Yes,
people-
you are
yep.
hearing. You almost slip on a body that's in front of you. You trip slightly, but you don't fall because you're just going over the ankles. And you smell blood and gore. And then you just hear, "This has been a great gauntlet, guys. Really great. Sorry I didn't make it this time. All good. You'll make it. Management, maybe. I don't know about you." But just coming from what this ostensibly dead body on the ground.
What's to be management? I've been just talking all day. Just get on with the job.
I stick my
What is
foot in
it
its
there?
mouth as I run over the top of it.
Fantastic. So you hear a crunch as the skull slightly caves in, and then there's a pat on your ankle, and nothing else because its vocal cords have been crushed. And you keep going.
Yep.
As you keep going, time passes and it feels interminable. Like it's on, and the dark and the gravel crunching beneath your feet and the cold wind around you, and you hear these noises coming from off to the side. Could it be gnomes? Could it be animals? Could it be other people? Who knows? It's really difficult to keep yourself from panicking as you keep running and running and running through this gravel. And then finally you see a light up ahead. It's this kind of greenish glow. And you see silhouetted in that light running towards it are only 5 other people. And they are all bolting for that light.
Let's
Pick up
go.
pace.
That's the only way to get out of this, Bert. That is the only way, isn't it? Let's
Yep.
go. Let's go to the
That's it,
light.
Let's get it. And try and trip some of these fuckers up as we go.
Yeah.
You're trying to trip them. Okay, give me a
Cool.
roll.
Don't do that. Oh, maybe not. That was feeble.
What'd you get?
I get a win.
Okay, so you're running and you're trying to trip them up, but the problem is it's really difficult to see where people are. You can hear the voices and you can hear the panting of people who've been running for a long time, but it's hard to get an idea of where legs might be, and so you try to trip some people up and end up just sort of slightly stumbling forward yourself. And
I was better
as
with my
you...
letters.
Hmm?
I was better with my letters.
You were a lot better with the letters. It's harder when it's just trying to trip people versus throwing things in their faces. So it makes it a bit difficult. But as you run towards this green light, which you see now makes the shape of a door, and this light is coming out of it, a figure moves into your path. And everyone else seems to be running around it. You can see their shapes now. You can see these other people. There's only 4 now. Someone else must have been downed on the way. They're running towards the door. They see the figure and they don't stop. They keep going. But this figure is standing directly in front of the 2 of you. And you see again this bony skeletal shape with the antlers and the arms. And I'd like insight rolls from both of you.
This could
Okay.
be me.
2. Good.
Okay.
Oh, 2. Right. Yeah, that's flipping all the weird stuff. I've
Nothing
seen
now
so far.
compared to what I've seen tonight. Yeah, that's just some guy
Yeah.
with some weird looking antlers.
Yeah, you've seen the dead talking and smiling, and you've seen people die, all sorts of things. This is just another night in the office at this point, or outside of the office. So it looks down at you, and you can both feel it making eye contact with both of you at the same time, somehow. And it asks, "What do you want?"
Get out that door. Get
To
out of this
live.
bloody building. Get out of this company. You
I just
weirdo.
want to live. I'll be a better person. I'll be a better person. Just let me live.
Join us is the way to live.
I just want out of here.
You're like, are you any different from any other soul-sucking company? Is it never enough just to have us breaking our backs working for you? You want our souls as well? Like, what is wrong with you?
Yes, that is exactly what we want.
Well, you can ram it.
Okay. So this thing is going to reach for you because you have rejected it, and it is going to attempt to shove you into the bag. So you can give me a roll,
Can I
but
get
I will tell
back to
you
purchase soon?
if you fail this one on an opposed roll, then you're going to be out because
Right,
you
if
have
I-
rejected the creature.
Okay. Point. Oh! I get in the sack.
Okay, so you are grabbed around the throat by 4 of these hands, and it crushes into you. You can feel your breath starting to leave your body, and then you are shoved into this bag, and there are shadows writhing around in here, shadows of objects, like the toys, quote unquote, that you saw sticking out of the bag as it was carrying it, but shadows of people and shadows of things, and they're all wailing and screaming, and they all immediately dive on you, and you start to feel yourself being ripped apart as the bag closes. And you are torn into shadow.
Dunk.
Nice.
And
I'm
the
guessing that's not
creature-
the happy ending.
I mean,
Yeah.
it could be, depending on what happens to everybody else.
It just means you're not management potential.
You're not. But your soul is now trapped in the bag, at least for now. So, Nick, the creature rolls its head. You hear the cracking of bone, and it looks back down at you and says, "Will you be one of us, Nick?"
I just want to survive. I don't want to die, but I don't want to sell my soul. No, I want out of here. I reject it. Fuck
You
you!
reject it. Okay. Give me a roll.
Yeah, I'd rather die than
I
sell
got a
my soul
6.
to this bullshit company for.
Okay, I got a 6. You can push the roll.
Yeah, I have to, man. I'm the one that jump in that bag, like, so it's 2d6, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not fun in here.
I got a 6 and a 2.
Okay. So you get a 6, which ties with me, but your insight is going to go up. So you're up to 5 now, I believe.
Yep.
And you look at this thing, and you swear it smiles at you and says, "Go on, shoot." And it shoos you with a gesture off towards the green light. But there's something in that smile and the way the shadows start to writhe around it, and you swear you see Bert's shadow now, writhing in terror and pain behind it, but it's gesturing you towards the door.
Bert, is it you? No, it's not him. It's not him. I run towards the door.
You run towards the door, and we'll
Bert,
come
I'm
back
getting
to
out
you
of here.
shortly. Fuck Bert. We'll come back to you shortly. So, Gary and Janice, you roll through this green light. The gnomes give your cart a push, Gary, and you go sailing into the hallway on the 13th floor of your office building. And you are there, standing on the edge of the mail cart with a key in your hand. And there is a large door in front of you. It's got a sign on it that says CEO. And the door opens. And Susan from HR is standing there. You see a dead body just beyond her. Not sure who it is from here. But there's blood and definitely brain matter. And she looks at the two of you and says, "Congratulations. You're both management potential." She holds out her hand. "I'll take your keys now." Do you hand them over?
Yeah.
So I'm in the CEO's office?
She's standing at the door.
No, I keep my key.
You were listening. Good. Come in. And she stands aside and holds the door open for you. And inside, you see this shape. It's made of shadow, appears to be an old man with a rotund belly, the large beard. But you can't quite make him out all the way because of how the shadows shift and move. And you see other shadows behind him, writhing, twisting. See this shapes of maybe reindeer. You see these antlers behind his head in this shadowy form, and then they shift and they fold back into the shape of a person or 5, and they shift again. They're shifting, constantly moving, sliding along the walls. And then you see, standing behind him, are the bodies of everyone who went running with you. All 50. 2 of them look to still be alive in the traditional sense. They're all standing there, but 2 of them out front are panting heavily, but they're smiling wide. Some of them, one of them has blood on her face, the other one has blood on his hands, but they don't appear to be wounded or injured. And the others are cracking their necks, looking down at gaping chest wounds, pushing aside blood and guts, and you start to see them healing up. You see Jared's head crack back over so that his neck is no longer broken. You see his chest wounds starting to heal over as he smiles at you. And Susan from HR steps up and hands each of you an envelope, to you 2 and then to the 2 who seem to have survived, and says, "You've earned your bonuses this year. And you've made your employment a permanent contract. Welcome to Lang Corporation." And so we'll pull back the camera and go into a coda where, Nick, you find yourself back in the office building. Your janitor's cart is there, next to you. You're wearing your what did you call it?
Boiler suit.
Boiler suit. Okay.
Yeah.
You're wearing your boiler suit. And you find yourself thinking, I have work to do. And you go and you start cleaning the desks where Bert had so carelessly tossed the mail, straighten up the mail, make sure everything looks nice. And every time your thoughts start to wander towards life, I have things to do. I have a home. No, I have work to do. And you go back and back over and over. You never find yourself leaving this building. You're trapped in a never-ending cycle of work, work, work. Janice, you become head of media. Gary, you become head of IT. You're both confident people. You are strong. People know your names. You're efficient at your jobs. You know what to do. You're good at this. And You're just replacing the ones who weren't strong enough in the past. All the others who ran the gauntlet with you go back to work. They greet you. You are the management now, after all. And you know that you won't be running the gauntlet anymore. You'll be watching the other employees running every year for their bonuses. And you'll be standing and watching your shadows writhing behind you as you wait to see who else has management potential. And that is where we will end this game.
Oh, yes.
Never
Superb.
felt so good to be a manager.
Oh, management potential. That's fucking brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Superb. Yeah, that is great.
We got 3 different endings, which is fantastic.
Yeah, we got a death, a permanent insanity, and 2 promotions.
Someone just got her soul ripped apart. Permanently.
Oh, brilliant.
And 3 of you who survived are permanently bound to the Lang Corporation.
At least
Huzzah.
ours came with perks versus.
Yes.
Yeah. I never sold my soul to be here, though. I tried to get out. I've been
There is no
punked.
escaping.
No, there's no escaping. Death was the only escape. Bart came out the best out of us.
Well, Bert's shadow is still trapped in that sack of the creatures, so...
I'm going to be a present next year.
Oh joy!
Oh, great.
I get to be
Yes,
somebody's
yes.
present.
Mail.
Yeah, he's going to be in that white elephant gift thing next year. Fuck
It'll be me holding the try to go, hate this place.
me.